Are we live yet?
Not yet. I believe we're live on audio, right?
Yes, the audio. Checking.
Audio's on. I'm getting an ad. Yeah.
There we go.
And we might have to turn the volume down a little bit on there. All right.
What is up, Barnhill family? Sorry for the technical difficulties. We're now halfway through the first round. Soriano Stolfutz. This is quite the slobber knocker so far, Nick.
That's right. Great fight so far.
Yeah,
one of those ones.
Little different kind of content we're going to try out for you guys tonight. Hang out, go live. I've got the live stream here on my phone. We've got the computer playing the fights hooked up to a TV. So bear with us if we run into some technical difficulties. Thank you all for joining. Let me pull up the live chat here.
And if you catch us looking at our phones, it's just a live. We're just trying to keep up. If you guys end up writing anything or
say what's up in the chat and we'll shout you out. Thank you guys for joining.
Ask us the hard questions. Great fight night card.
Yeah,
Austin, Texas is really getting blessed with this one.
Like if you put a title fight as the main event, this is a solid pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah. I
mean, this card is really, really stacked. I'm expecting some good finishes tonight.
Last couple cards of the year, they got to go out strong. And, you know, this one's got some interesting fights on it. Obviously, there are cool things taking place at 155, and you know, Bobby Green and Armin had their little thing go on. So,
oh wow, somebody's going out in this one.
Yeah,
they both got hurt in that exchange there.
Yeah, well, and right off the bat, Stolfutz caught Soriano, and then right after that, Soriano caught him with like a nice knee right up the front.
Yeah, this is a good fight so far.
Yeah.
Both these guys are so durable.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Are we good on volume? Is that we've got our audio, we can hear the fights, but we got to make sure the YouTube can't hear the fights. All right. Yeah.
This Stolfutz is throwing a lot of heavy body kicks. If this fight goes into the second and third round, which doesn't seem like it's going to,
head movement,
those will pay some dividends.
Doesn't seem like head movement was in either of these guys' game plan.
No, not at all.
There you go.
Nice slam by Stolfutz there.
Yeah.
Get this cold brew going.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, nitro. That's the nitro. They put the nitro in the cold brew. There you go. Here, I know you already had your first sip. Cheers to this, man.
Cheers. Yeah, cheers to the live stream.
Cheers to Chris.
Thank
Chris
you guys
over
for
there
joining us.
Doing all the real work.
We're going to try to do a lot of these guys. We're going to try to have some guests on. We're going to try to make it more of like a conversational sort of hangout for the fights.
Yeah. So
you guys join us and drop us a question in the live chat. I got it going here on my phone, so we'll be able to see as anything comes through.
Yeah. Oh, I think I just saw Tom Segura in the front. He's one of those.
Ooh.
Oh, right at the bell. Saved by the bell. The literal definition.
Man, both of those guys landed some good shots in that round.
You know what's funny is every time somebody gets hit and they do like the no, that's the tell that, yes, you did actually get hurt. And then the other one is when you do the that's like even worse. That's like one step worse than getting hit and being like, nah, that didn't hurt. That's no, it did hurt.
If you want to for sure let your opponent know that their shot hurt you, act like it didn't hurt you. That's exactly. The telltale sign.
Exactly. Well, yeah, that was a pretty interesting first round. If it continues on that path, they'll be leaving with $50K each extra.
Yeah, I feel like this one is like shaping up to either be fight of the night or potentially knockout of the night.
Yeah. One thing I love about the whole fight of the night, the bonus aspect of UFC, is if one of the fighters gets out there and like it's just an electric card start to finish, and there's like really good fights, there's really good finishes, and somebody that's like one of the wiser workers of the entire industry or of the entire sport gets on and cuts a great promo, maybe asks for $75K or $100K, they generally end up getting it. Dana's like a softie with that. He's like, these fights were awesome. As long as he was entertained, they'll throw you a little extra.
Well, the thing about Dana, too, is he rides the high of a great fight card like that one in Madison Square Garden. So if there's like all knockouts, he's like fired up at the press conference. And so the media will ask him, like, what about this guy? What about that guy? And he's like, yeah, he's getting a bonus. He's getting a bonus. He's getting a bonus.
Oprah. Everybody's
it's like Oprah
bonus.
Winfrey.
Yeah.
We got 4 in the chat now. Thank you guys for joining.
Yep. 5 now.
Yep.
Soriano's corner confident. Is it? I couldn't hear him, but I think they said Soriano's corner is confident he won that round. I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was pretty even, but then that knockdown at the end may have given it to Stolfitz.
Yeah, Stolfitz kind of has a little bit of a Tom Hardy look going.
He does. He does a little bit.
Yeah.
That's cool to see Tom Hardy doing jiu-jitsu and taking it so serious. I think he's got up to purple belt now.
Yeah, he's probably pretty good at it. I mean, if the movie Warrior was any indication, he was well on his way.
Yeah. That
also one of the most gangster intros to a walkouts to a fight ever. He walked out with no music and no corner.
Yeah.
And just literally had a black jacket on after the fight. Doesn't even get his hand raised, just leaves the cage. Like, of course, it's all, for a movie, but it was
those
pretty
movies
badass.
still get you going, though. Man, these guys are throwing some leather. Stolfitz is landing a really nice inside leg kick.
Yeah.
We got 5 in the chat. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you so much, y'all.
Let us know who you are. Say hello. And, join the chat. If you want to ask a question, you want to comment, hop on in. But the pace is definitely different in the second round than the first.
Yeah, you can't go guns a-blazing like that for 15 straight.
Punahele Soriano is always exciting, man. He's never in a dull fight. I don't know as much about this guy Stolfitz, but I mean, he's definitely landed some good shots and having his moments.
Yeah.
Both of them very durable.
Either one of these guys, I think, would be a good fight for Sharaput and Magomedov, because they'd be willing to stand in there and trade with him. I know he's trying to work that Marvin Vettori business right now, but I think that might be biting off a little more than he should chew right in his second fight in the UFC. But
he
looked good.
I don't know if Sharaputin's ready for Vettori, but at the same token, Vettori does get hit a lot. He'll stand right in front of you, and Sharaputin's got some power. 6 in the chat now. Thank you guys so much for joining.
Yo.
Ooh, that was a beautiful overhand to that little back take there. The slam. I think Soriano's starting to gas a little bit here. Stolfitz definitely seems to be the more fresh fighter. Who'd you guys have winning that first round? Soriano's corner seemed to think it was him, but I don't know. All things considered, and as even as it was, I think with that knockdown at the end of the round, Stolfitz snagged that round.
Yeah. Either way, for sure, the judges have that one mixed. You're not going to get all 3 judges thinking the same thing on that.
Nice outside leg trip. Stolfitz keeps working this outside leg trip here.
Yeah. Now, Texas, when it comes to the UFC, the judging in Texas is kind of reliable, but the Texas commission, the people that are calling fights and the judges and stuff in Texas, it can get a little wonky at times. Sometimes they don't exactly know what they're watching, or
it's not Nevada, but it's not New York either.
Exactly.
It's not the creme de la creme, but I'd say it's I'd put it above California's commission, probably second best. But
but sometimes they have some weird judging, and I think it's just some people, maybe they came from boxing's big here, and oh wow,
yeah, that's a deep rear naked choke there.
Ooh,
he's
not even
going for the other hand behind the head.
That's a brutal one.
Soriano,
It looks like he's under the chin,
now it's starting to cinch in.
I don't know. Obviously, the rule, especially in MMA, is anything under the nose is the neck. But it looks like his chin's in there. He's going to be fighting. And shit!
Now it's out. Yep. Ref's in the way.
Yeah, he's out.
That's it.
He was on the brink of going to sleep.
Nice choke there with Stolfitz. He set that up really nicely too with that overhand.
Yeah.
Straight to the takedown attempt, and then he transitioned right to the back. That was slick.
Solid finish.
That was a good fight for as long as it lasted.
Oh yeah.
Stolfitz. He's gonna be a fun guy to watch at middleweight. He's definitely on the radar now.
Yeah.
But I think Soriano kind of gassed himself out after that first round. And he did get rocked pretty bad.
Yeah, here's the question. Is Joe Rogan there in attendance? Obviously, he's not working the desks tonight, but obviously living in Austin, Texas, he's got to be right around the corner.
Yeah,
right?
got to be there.
Dana knows he can give him a nice seat, the best seat in the house. Probably something just as close as his job for the pay-per-views.
Oh, Eric Nixick's in the corner of Soriano.
Great coach there. Nick Sick is one of those guys. He's just coming off real strong as one of these coaches of the year.
Yeah, he might be the best coach in the game right now, and you wouldn't have said that, a year ago, but he's up there now.
Yeah, he's been a staple, but he's kind of been one of those underground ones. But now, I mean, when you're in the corner of Francis Ngannou and he goes and beats the best boxer in the world, Tyson Fury, you kind of know your stuff about combat sports.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
I mean, that was like essentially like a David versus Goliath type of thing, not just for the fighters, but for the teams. Like, it almost felt like the Bad News Bears, like the bunch of MMA guys came over and not only boxed, but the coaches are coaching boxing, and they held up. For my money, they won that fight.
Yeah, you have Dewey Cooper, who's a great striking coach, but all things considered, he does mostly MMA stuff.
Yeah.
And then Eric Nixick is an MMA coach. So a lot of people don't think about that Francis had to compete against Tyson Fury in boxing, but the coaches also had to compete against Fury's coaches with a boxing game plan, which is not their, certainly not Eric Nixick's forte.
Yeah. Dewey Cooper knows obviously a lot about all forms of striking and combat sports, but he's actually the president of the TCL, Team Combat League.
Yeah.
And, he's really trying to help push that. And, I guess he's got some ties to the people that are running the organization that started it. And so he's really getting behind it, trying to push it and bring it to the world.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. That Team Combat League is going to be interesting to see. It's like, unlike anything I've seen before, where it's basically combat sports, but team oriented, not individual.
Yeah. And they really need to, in my opinion, find a steady stream. I don't know who the streaming platform is going to be. I heard YouTube. I've heard a couple other things. If ESPN gets a hold of it, then it's great. But,
Yeah. I saw Netflix is looking to get into live sports streaming, which seems like the next logical step for them.
Yeah. Well, Netflix to me, obviously, they're the top, right? Netflix has so many great shows, and they have, so many comedians doing their specials and stuff. But once you get past the new stuff that it just came out, then it starts to get into more like rerun shows and stuff. And they, obviously they have their Netflix originals, they've got their shows, and then these reality shows that are all good, cooking shows. But it seems like they do need to evolve.
To live, live events is the next step for Netflix for sure.
Yeah. I agree. Every time Robbie Glover tweets, I think it's Robbie Lawler.
I do too.
I read it as Robbie Lawler.
They always put the same people up too. Drake Riggs, Terrence McKinney.
I was just about to say Terrence.
T-Rex is one of them on there.
Yeah. He was there last night at Little Woodrow's doing he was with Kevin.
Oh, nice. Is he still popping into Main Street here?
Oh, yeah. They'll be there next week.
Yeah, he's a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
See, that overhand set up that back take beautifully. It looked like he went for the single or the double there and then just transitioned right away into the back take.
Yeah.
Slammed him, and, that was a nice finish. I feel like Soriano was fighting it well, but he almost made the mistake of lifting his head up just enough to where Stolfitz got that arm under there, and that was all she wrote.
Yep.
Six folks in the chat now. Guys, thank you guys so much for joining.
Appreciate it.
Drop us a comment. Let's chat. Let's talk fights. We're enjoying this. So we're going to do a lot more of these. We're going to do some for the pay-per-view events. And we'd love for you guys to join us. Watch our clips. That's our main thing. But these live streams are kind of the next evolution of what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Come hang out.
Tom Hardy won. Avi just texted me, Tom Hardy won. He obviously thought the same thing you did.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Triple C.
Triple C.
Captain of Cringe. How do you think he fares against Merab? That's a really good fight, but also a really hard fight for Triple C.
Well, if anybody can negate Merab's wrestling, which is his biggest weapon, it's Triple C, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Aljo did a pretty good job with the wrestling with Triple C, but I don't know.
I feel like Merab's wrestling's even better than Aljo's. Aljo's got better submissions, but it's definitely a different it'll be a different fight for sure.
Yeah, for two guys that train together so much, I think that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I love that they're trying to really push this grappling stuff, but Merab is definitely a different grappler. He came from a different region and does a different style than Aljo, but they train together so much that they obviously take all sorts of things from each other. And
I think Merab's going to win that fight. I like Triple. It's going to be closer than I think a lot of people think it is, but I think Merab's ultimately going to win that fight. I would put Merab up against anybody at bantamweight right now. He's so good. I honestly feel like if Aljo had not been in the division and there wasn't that pre-existing relationship there, that potentially Merab could already be the champion.
Yeah.
But they're going to try to keep him away from Sugar Sean as long as possible.
Well, him and Umar, but they're going to have eventually somebody's going to run into Sugar. And I believe Sugar is. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, I said that the world of MMA has always been the discussion of grappling art versus striking art. And early on, I mean, the number one thing that we learned at UFC 1 was grappling is superior. But then there's been waves of really good strikers that come in, and then evolutions of grappling happen. And, you know, I felt like as of a couple of years ago, we had a really strong wave of really good grapplers that came in and just kind of took over the game. But as of late, you know, you got to look at Israel Adesanya, Alex Pereira,
Sugar Sean.
Sugar Sean is in my opinion the most skilled striker on the UFC's roster. Obviously, there's some people with more accolades, but when you watch Sugar Sean, he's doing things that other people
Leon Edwards, you know,
Leon, so it's kind of like this. We're in an era of strikers right now, and I think that the grapplers will have their day. They'll take back the throne whenever the time is right. But Sugar Sean's going to be a problem for all those guys, and I think now he believes he's the best in the world. I think he really needed to get a win over a high-level grappler like Aljo to prove that to himself.
Yeah.
And I also think the Cheeto Vera fight is going to go completely different than the other one. If you watch that fight, that first round, as long as it lasted before he started to have the issues with the low calf kick, man, Sugar was putting it on him. And I think Sugar's going to put it on him even worse later at the beginning of next year. And I think after that, he's got his hands full with some great grapplers. But this Cheeto Vera fight is the perfect fight for Sugar Sean.
I think Sugar finishes in this time.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. I was watching an interview of Sugar the other day, and he was talking about that kick and talking about how easy he was winning that fight. And I mean, it was a back and forth fight. Everybody rewrites history. But if you go back, Sean for sure was winning the fight.
Right.
He said that that Cheeto's toe, his big toe, just dug right into the side of his calf ever so slightly and just hit the nerve hit the nerve exactly right. And that's what caused the leg to deaden, which, I mean, yes, it did come from a leg kick, but also it was one of those freak things. Like, he can't rely on landing that kick again. That was a 1 in a million sort of kick.
Yeah. And I mean, getting kicked in the calf sucks. There, obviously you can condition your legs, and any muscle hit enough can be conditioned. But when you have a big muscle, it's much easier to be hit in multiple areas. So the target's much larger. The calf is much smaller, so you have to be a more precise striker when you want to start to attack it. And when you do hit it, there's not that much room, right? If you kick the thigh way up here, and then the next kick is down here, it's like 2 different regions, and you don't even feel the issue unless they start to pepper one spot. The calf, if you hit it, and then 2 inches away, you hit it again, it's like all the same thing. So I think the calf kick is very dangerous. It's dangerous if you go against a checker. So you don't want to throw it that often if you're going against somebody who's good at checking. But here in MMA, people aren't really checking kicks that much, especially not the low ones. They kind of just have to eat them so they can advance with their hands. In Muay Thai, you almost never see people throw calf kicks because checking is so prevalent.
Yeah, and I mean, the calf kick is like a live by the sword, die by the sword. Right. You can absolutely win a fight with a good calf kick, but somebody who is a good checker can snap your, 100%. Your shin bone in two with a good check as well. So
100%.
What's up, guys? Thanks for joining the chat. We got 6 in the chat right now. So
my phone says 7. Don't leave that last person out.
Sorry, number 7. We my phone must be a little bit behind here.
There's the old dogs.
Look at that. Most fights in UFC history: Jim Miller, Andrei Arlovsky, Cowboy Cerrone, and Clay Guida.
Most people will never fight 42 times in their MMA career, and he's got 42 in the UFC.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And Arlovsky's still doing the damn thing too.
Yeah, yeah. He looks as good as ever.
Yeah,
I mean heavyweight. Heavyweight's just so much better these days. I mean, we saw that with Tom Aspinall, how heavyweight has evolved. And, it's just you got guys that are 240, 250 pounds moving like lightweights, which is insane. Clay Guida.
The definition of the old dog.
Yeah, he is a dog. And he's hard to finish, too.
Yeah.
I saw some people picking for him to lose by submission. That was one of the hot,
damn, look at that.
Prop bets to take. But I just don't see Clay getting submitted, man.
I don't know who this guy is.
is a fight that's 10,000 years in America.
Yeah.
They both look like they're
Raul Rosas.
no, he's like Asian Russian.
Oh yeah.
Clay Guida is he does not look like a guy that's had 40 fights in the UFC.
No.
This
looks like a guy
Joaquin
out of the
Silva might
Bible.
be a tough fight though.
Yeah, that guy looks tough.
Yeah.
Clay
Guida's next. Yeah.
I might have told y'all, my teammate Gilberto is what I call him. He's from Venezuela. He's fighting Rosas Jr.'s brother.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
What
Here in
organization
Texas.
is that in?
Here, Fury.
Fury.
Mm-hmm. I believe it's in January. If not, it's in February. But yeah.
They keep running this commercial, man.
Must be
Asgard's Wrath.
New game.
Meta Quest.
Lame.
What do you think about Dana White saying they're going to do that that fight in the Sphere in September? He's going to put on the greatest night of combat sports the world has ever seen, and they're going to do it inside the Vegas Sphere. What
I think would be really cool is if you get one of these like underground genius hackers, one of these weirdos that like gets the live stream illegally and then puts it on the outside of the Sphere. That would be hilarious. Let all of Vegas watch it.
That would be something.
Oh my God.
No kidding. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It'd be worth it if we go to Vegas and just put the logo on there, go follow or go
or the proposals are going to get wild.
Yeah, the Vegas Sphere is cool, man. I saw this thing on Instagram of the inside of it the other day. It's like I thought it was like it looked like it was on the edge of the earth. It was like U2 playing or something. It was really cool.
Interesting.
But
wow.
Some guy was like, well, you're allowed to show the male nipple, so that's what I put on there. But when it's in a round sphere, it looks very inappropriate.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. The male nipple.
What's up, guys? 7 in the chat. Thank you all for joining.
Yeah.
Drop us some questions. Hang out. We're just going to be watching the fights, chatting, and appreciate you guys being here.
I swear I'm not rude. I'm not getting on my phone. I gotta let the people on the other social media platforms come on. Remind them that we're over here. We're live. All right. So you get to watch a live version of a story get created. Yeah. All right. 1, 2, 3. Quit scrolling your Instagram and click on over to this link right here. I'll put it right about here. We're live on YouTube. We're watching the UFC Fight Night stacked card in Austin, Texas. Say what's up to the brothers.
What's up? What's
there
up?
We go.
We got the man behind the camera there.
Doing all the hard work. We got the TV set up. First fight ended in submission. Clay Guida's next. You don't want to miss it. Click this link right here and come join us. Let's go. Right off the cuff, you know.
So who you got in this one? You going old dog, or you going with the new lion, Joaquin Silva?
I don't know Joaquin that well, so I'm going with Clay Guida because I want to see Clay win. So
I think this is gonna be tough.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna be a tough one for Clay Guida to try to win.
All right, type it out. You got a little caption.
Put that up on the story, and Clay Guida coming out to some death metal. You gotta love it.
Par for the course.
You gotta love the Carpenter, man.
Oh yeah,
he's a legend. I don't think people really realize what it takes to fight almost 40 times in the UFC. Like how disciplined for how long that actually takes.
Well, and the fact that obviously his record's like 38-20 or whatever, but I mean, if you're not winning, 60% of your fights,
they cut you.
You. So, for him to be here, and obviously he's at that age now where they're like, we're not going to send you somewhere else.
Right.
You're going to retire in the UFC, but still he's been winning for like 2 decades.
Yeah. And he's never out of a fight. He's always got a shot.
Yeah. He looked great a couple fights ago. I know he got finished in his last fight, I think, or he lost it handedly.
He was an inductee to the Hall of Fame 4 years ago.
Ridiculous.
And he's still doing the damn thing.
Crazy.
Second most total strikes in UFC lightweight history. Third most takedowns, 76 takedowns. He's like a cardio machine, man.
Yeah. Oh, he's walking out. Oh, you said death metal. It was it's Pantera. What a gangster song to walk out to.
41 years old. Let's see here. Silva looks like a young man. He's in his mid-30s, but compared to Guida, he is.
That's right.
Bruce Buffer's looking sharp in that crushed purple jacket. Curitiba, Brasil. What's up, guys? Thank you all for joining the live. And yeah, drop us a comment, chat with us. We're just going to be hanging out, watching the fights. Let us know what your picks are. Let us know who you're betting on. Let us know where you're joining in from. We love to hear from you. Clay the Carpenter. Most pro fights among active fighters, 58 total pro fights.
That's ridiculous.
38-20.
Damn, you don't hear that. You don't hear Bruce Buffer say that a UFC Hall of Famer very often.
Citizens, Macabre's Poppy. Clay usually walks out to There Goes My Hero. Great song.
Great song. Yeah. Oh, but tonight was Walk by Pantera.
Yeah, you got to love the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
In an age where everybody's doing kind of the newer stuff, the hip hop and all that, to hear somebody come out to the old school, rock, heavy stuff, that's super cool.
Yeah, there's Tom
Thanks
Segura.
For joining the live, by the way.
Tom Segura.
Let's see here.
With a lady that's not his wife. I don't know who it is.
Clay, look, I almost like him better with the long hair because it's so when you see fighters with long hair, almost 100% of the time they have it cornrowed. Mm-hmm. Benson Henderson used to wear it kind of just pulled back loosely, but Clay just let it hang, man. He just let that long hair hang when he would fight. So,
truth be told, this is probably a smarter move on his part.
Yeah, I don't know how I had long hair at one point, and trying to do anything physical with it just flying around is almost impossible, let alone trying to get your depth perception right with fighting and stuff like that.
Yeah. Soriano Silva knows exactly what to do right now. Avoid a dogfight early on. You might have to engage in that later.
But you're not going to gas Clay Guida. He'll be coming at you with this pace all the way until the end of round 3.
Right,
so.
He's a 3-round fighter, and nobody has more gas at the end of 3 rounds than Clay Guida.
It's so funny because Clay's
funny.
He's never in a position to do 5 rounds. It just doesn't make sense at this point in his career. But I feel like he could go 5 rounds. Look at him go, man.
Don't just think you can out-wrestle him, too. He's got good wrestling.
He's a dog. I mean, that's kind of alpha male that's sort of their staple. Jordan Pluton in the live. Cubano, what's up, man?
Cubano.
Thank you for joining.
What's up, bro?
Who you got in this fight, Pluton?
Hey, and next time we do this, you need to come over here. Your English is more than good enough. Way better than my Spanish.
Clay Guida, he's so unorthodox, man. I think that's what makes him so difficult to prepare for. He moves. It's almost like DDP. When you watch Dricus du Plessis fight these days, it's like, it almost seems a bit awkward. And I hate to say that because he's finishing people like Robert Whittaker. So what he's doing is clearly working for him, but he moves in a way that it's just hard to get the timing. It's hard to get the rhythm and the rhyme and reason behind what they're doing down. And it makes for a very, very difficult fighter to prepare for.
Yeah.
And Clay Guida is no different. He kind of moves with this little bit of a swing like that.
Yeah. Yeah, some people just they do all the same things that everybody else does. They throw their jabs and their crosses and they kick and shuffle in and shuffle out, but they're just the natural motions of their body are just different and they're hard to time and train for. You can't really find somebody at the highest levels. It's hard to find people that can mirror Israel Adesanya.
Right.
But also if you're going against somebody like Clay Guida, you can't just find somebody that moves like that because he throws jabs when he's is in a weird position, or he'll throw something from an interesting spot or time it weirdly, and you just can't train for that. You kind of have to fight your fight and take the fight to the person. But
yeah, it almost, when you fight a guy who's so unorthodox, it's almost to your benefit not to train for them. It's just to try to do what it is that you're set out to do.
Right.
Because when you try to get somebody in the camp that can mimic the style, and it's just never exactly the same.
Right.
And so like you could be, and in a game of inches, if the guy mimicking the style was 90% of the way there, it's still going to look and feel totally different. And the timing is going to be different when you actually get in there with the fighter themselves.
For sure.
It's funny though. What was that guy's name? Justin Buckles, that used to coach at Alpha Male when Cody was still there, and he beat, nice shot
that
by
was
Guida
behind
there.
the ear, I think. It might have been a slip, but it looked like behind the ear a little
Clay
bit.
Guida definitely is winning this round. But
Justin Buckles,
he had I've never
Oh.
oh wow, that was a good shot there by Silva. He hurt Clay Guida with that one.
Oh damn.
Get Clay on that.
Grab him for the ankles.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's got to try to scramble up. Yeah. Guida's trying to get to the cage there.
Come on. Don't call it. He's still his eyes are open.
Look at Clay, man. He's
all right. Now it's gonna get bad, but there we go.
In the clinch now.
What a dog. Oh shit.
Ooh, wow.
Oh, sorry, y'all.
Those are
honest reactions. I try to take the 4-letter words out of my vocabulary, but it's hard.
It's hard when you're live. It's easy when we record, recap the fights after the fact, but it's just it's such an emotional, fun sport to watch that your initial reactions are hard to mask.
Sounds like the crowd is chanting Guido.
Yeah.
I know they're saying Guida, but
veteran move here by Clay. He was able to immediately get to the cage, use it to walk himself up, get that clinch, and now he's just going to ride out the round. Probably lost the round now.
Of course.
I mean, he was winning, in my opinion, prior to that exchange, but that was the knockdown there. Was
you go, almost had like a fireman's
look at Clay, man.
Right there.
Clay Guida finishing the round, finishing strong.
Yeah, got some pep in his step. Good for him.
MetaQuest advertisement here. Let's go to the chat. What's up, guys? Thank you all for joining. Let's chat some MMA. Drop us a comment.
Yeah.
Drop us a question. Let's hang out. Let's enjoy the fights. Any of you guys watching that bare knuckle after this?
Oh yeah.
That's Eddie Alvarez, Mike Perry. That's going to be something.
Yeah.
Eddie Alvarez looked good in his. I didn't think he was going to do so well in his bare knuckle debut, but he looked pretty good. And if there was ever a person that was built for bare knuckle boxing, it's Mike Perry. I mean,
and Mike Perry has really come a long way as a striker. And also, I understand bare knuckle has to put their biggest names against their other biggest names, but there's a size difference between Mike Perry and Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah,
and I think that's going to be a major difference. And I think if Eddie Alvarez obviously he's not gotten taller, he's in his 30s, but if he hasn't put on some serious size and isn't able to bully Mike Perry and try to outmuscle him, which I don't think is going to be the case, I think it's going to be hard for him. He's never been known as a precise striker. He's kind of a haymaker and power puncher.
Right. So, and if you look at it, I mean, nice shot there by Guida to start the round. But talking about, Mike Perry, he made Luke Rockhold quit in their bare knuckle fight. And Luke was the 185 champion, and Eddie's, spent his career at lightweight.
155, 155 champ.
Yeah. Mike, I think, is going to win that fight. But Eddie's quick though, man. And Eddie's a dog. You can't count him out, but
he broke one of Rockhold's teeth.
Yeah.
In that fight.
Yeah, split his lip open. Yeah. I feel like,
nice.
I feel like Mike Perry was built for bare knuckle.
He was only doing UFC fighting until bare knuckle became a thing.
He's like, hold on, you mean I can make more money and fight people bare knuckle? I don't have to wear these gloves.
And for what it looks like, look
at that. Look at
wrestling.
Guida go, man.
Solid.
Beautiful wrestling. Wow, Silva's he threw that guillotine up quick. Yeah.
That shit sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry. Hopefully YouTube doesn't hear those.
Looks like Guida's having a little bit of trouble with the athleticism and the speed, but
youth.
He's definitely in the fight.
Yeah.
It just
tough as an old leather
ripping
boot.
the body.
But
Yeah.
watch out for a knee because see.
Oh yeah, you gotta address that clinch when they get the full tie.
When
Oh
it's the
wow.
head, you gotta watch out.
Yeah.
Yo!
Oh wow.
Come on, Guida. Come on,
dude. Just when you think he's out.
Hey, and I'll tell you, I was talking to somebody about this earlier today. They were asking me after sparring, what do I do for defense? Like, how do I stop getting put up against the cage? And I said, there's multiple lines of defense, right? And oh no, I don't think
this Silva, he pulls these guillotines pretty quick, man. It's an arm in guillotine. I don't think that's going to be tight enough for Guida to tap to. But
there's a lot of his neck exposed, and while it's probably hard to, there you go.
Yeah, just basically bullied his way out of there.
Yeah.
And now he's taking the back. Listen to the crowd.
Yeah, they want to see him get his hand raised. But the lines of defense, and I said, but obviously the high guard is the last line of defense. You don't want to look like a sitting duck. You want to be a more active defensive player, but the number one line of defense is high volume offense.
Yeah.
And it's like that cliche saying, the best defense is a really good offense. And it's so true. And that's exactly what we saw Clay Guida do right there. He just saw that a bunch of stuff was coming his way. He didn't like it. And it's like, okay, I'm already getting hit. If my hand leaves my face, because it's not blocking my face anyways, if my hand leaves my face and just throws something, I might land something. And sure enough, he did. And it just changed the entire direction of the round.
Turning yourself into a punching bag, covering up and just letting them rip is never the right answer.
No.
As much as it feels like you're being overwhelmed sometimes, when you throw something hard back at them, they have to address it,
right.
And it's so cliche to say, but it is so true that a really heavy pressure offense is the best defense.
Right. And obviously there's times where you have to settle back and really play defense. But like I said, high guard is not where you go from there.
Uh-oh. Lost the stream here for a second, guys. Sorry about that.
Yep, we're still on. We're still on.
Lost the lost the feed here on the computer. There we go.
Right back on.
Technical difficulties. We haven't done one of these in over a year, guys. We're trying to get back into it. Sorry.
New studio.
So bear with us. Yeah, we're in the new studio. Look at that.
Go.
Beautiful takedown by Guida.
He might be losing the round, but he'll still do a suplex or a, hip toss or something.
You got to love Clay, man.
Yeah. He's all about the epic stuff. Maybe a crazy question, but since he's got 37 or 38 fights and Jim Miller has 42, they must have fought each other.
You know what? I don't even know. I'm sure that they have.
If not, they have to. The UFC has to make that happen. Them two for some sort of record-setting thing at like UFC 300 would be perfect.
I think it's pretty epic, honestly, that Jim Miller has fought at UFC 100, UFC 200, and now he wants to fight at UFC 300.
Yeah, nobody better.
There you have it. Jim Miller submitted Clay Guida 2019.
Well, they should fight again.
Yeah, I'd be down for the rematch. Honestly, these guys at this age, it's like, I get what the UFC or why they do what they do, and they put guys like Silva against Guida, and they give Jim Miller these young studs because they want to have these young guys build a name off of the the fighter that was once great. But truthfully, sometimes it comes back to bite them in the ass because sometimes the old dog shows them exactly why they are who they are.
That's right.
Hands full. It's funny, we were talking about the other day how, 155, everybody looks at like Gaethje, Poirier, Barnhill, Charles is like, man, these guys are just holding up the top of the division. Like, let one of these young, hungry lions come in and get their crack and break through into that top five. But then when you do it, you put a Rafael Fiziev against Justin Gaethje. Gaethje picks him apart. And it's like, you know what? This guy's not just holding his spot at the top of the division. He absolutely deserves to be there.
Yeah, I was guilty of that. I thought that there was a biggest names division at 155, and then there was a bunch of guys that could beat them, but they were stuck at like ranked 6 through 10, 6 through 11. No, when you realize those top 5 guys actually do belong in the top 5, and they're all just fighting each other and beating each other, but there's still a couple different variations.
They're still the best.
Yeah. So obviously Islam's the guy up there, and Dustin Poirier's right there, but they've all had their couple of title shots, and maybe they lost to Khabib or they lost to Islam or they've lost to each other. So there's not a lot of motion taking place at the top of the division, but they aren't trying to lose their spot to one of
Right.
these young, hungry guys. And that's why I was a little confused, honestly, with the Bobby Green and Arman Sarukian thing, because in my opinion, Arman Sarukian is well on his way to becoming a top guy at 155, especially with a win over Beneil. And once you get in there with Beneil, you're in there you're in the mix, right?
Yeah.
You're
if
now
you beat
there.
Beneil Dariush, you're in the conversation.
Right. And Bobby Green, I love Bobby Green. If they fought, I would be rooting for Bobby Green. But I think he's a couple steps away from that. And I think that was one of those things where it was really bothering Arman, regardless of what he said and regardless of the promotion aspect of fighting and being an entertainment sport. Arman was really offended by whatever it was Bobby Green was saying. And it almost seems like win or lose after this, he's going to call out Bobby Green and going to be wind up fighting Bobby Green.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and I think if Bobby Green loses to Jalen Turner and Arman beats Beneil, if he finishes Beneil, he's going to drop the whole thing with Bobby, because he's going to want to try to set his sights on Islam and try to get that rematch.
Yeah.
But it just depends on what happens. Like, what do you think if Sarukian's able to defeat Beneil, especially if he's able to get a finish? Do you think he's in the title conversation, or you think he's still
Sarukian? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's still got some heavy lifting to do. And Gamrot just got into that league.
Yeah.
You know, and there's MMA math that's weird because Beneil and Gamrot and Sarukian have all kind of fought each other. And
yeah, the round robin sort of thing.
But I think that Sarukian's going to have to do some stuff. So,
oh, did we lose the feed?
Yes, your mics are probably still on, but
sorry, guys. I think we lost the feed here.
Technical difficulties. Stick with us. We are 2 minutes into round 3 of Guida versus Silva.
Let me go turn the AC on.
Okay.
we're still live. Both video and audio.
All right. I'm usually not one for head tattoos, but this guy's piece on his neck that kind of dwindles up into his head looks pretty cool. Can't tell what it is, but he wants that flying knee knockout.
Let's see here. Sorry about that technical difficulties, guys.
Mm-hmm. We're back in. Well, look, he's got that wrestling grip on him. You don't want anybody. Have you seen that clip? It's I can't remember who's talking about, Randy Couture and some wrestler. He's like, man, I probably lost a handful of rings up Randy Couture's tailpipe because I used to grab him there when he would try to wrestle me. It's like, I don't know.
It's some of the moves in wrestling aren't the most aesthetically pleasing, and boxers love to make fun of it. But at the same time, it's like if you've never felt what the pressure of a good wrestler feels like, you don't even know what you don't know.
If you've never felt a man grab you by the ass, you don't know what it's like.
So it looks like Silva's going to cruise to a decision here, but
But, this is one of those things. Like Silva, of course, wants to get the win, right? He wants to get the win money and the show money. And he wants to get his hand raised over against Clay Guida. But I think Clay is bringing the fight to him. And while obviously Clay's not going to win this fight, when you get a big opportunity like this, you're on a main card. You got a big name. People love him, but they understand it's a passing of the torch type of thing. You got to bring the fight. He loves the
Silva really wants that guillotine. It's arm in every time too. But straight up with a guy like Clay, like you're just a real like cranking guillotine. You're not going to get Clay to tap to. Look at him still trying the outside leg trip there.
Yeah, Silva should fight my boy Rafael Alves. He's the guillotine guy.
Yeah.
You want to feel somebody lock up a guillotine. He does some stuff, some sneaky, secretive stuff with his guillotine that
does Hoffa have any fight news coming up?
Yeah, he was actually supposed to be on this card, but I think it was just it was a little too short notice, and they didn't have a good the right opponent for him or something. I don't really know why, but he wanted to do a Texas card. There you go. And Clay will always raise his opponent's hand after a fight, right?
One of the good guys of the game, man.
Yeah,
Not your average 41-year-old.
that's right.
He had some beautiful takedowns in that fight, though.
Exciting
And
moments.
some big. That was that big shot when he was hurt up against the cage there. He just fired off that overhand. Man, they are really running this Meta Quest commercial. I just feel like the technology for these glasses just isn't quite there yet. Thank you guys for joining the chat. We appreciate it. Drop us a comment, drop us a question. Let's chat some MMA leading up to this main event. Next one's a good one, man. Next one we have, what is that? Brady versus Gastelum. We get to see Kelvin at 170. So that should be a pretty good fight.
Brady, we were all hot on Brady until he suffered that first loss.
Yeah. Bilal, yeah.
That's that, and I was late to the Bilal party. I thought that Bilal was good, but just not that good.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was a top guy.
Yeah, and that was kind of that Sean Brady fight was his coming out party, because everybody was like, the complaint against Bilal was that he's not aggressive enough and he doesn't finish fights. And then he gets in there and just, absolutely puts the work on Sean Brady, Sean Brady is a good fighter and a good grappler. He beat Craig Jones in a grappling match not that long ago.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy.
That's crazy.
Which is really crazy if you think about ADCC medalist losing to an MMA fighter in a grappling contest.
Insane. Bruce Buffer's about to announce that Silva beat Clay Guida, but
look at Clay. He's ready to go another 2 rounds.
29-28 for Silva. Joaquin.
Yeah, I think that's the right call.
Yeah. Look, he's not even sad about it.
Clay's not even there. When you've lost 20 times, you won 38.
Care.
It's like, I'm just here to have some fun, man.
Yeah.
But that was a good fight. Clay showed that he still belongs, man. He's at 41 years old. He's still got it.
Yeah. And in other news, while Daniel Cormier interviews this guy, Ronda Rousey has been offered $15 million to rematch Miesha Tate at UFC 300.
Are you serious? Is that the super fight that Dana White was talking about?
I mean, it ain't so super. So,
but I mean,
probably not. If he tries
$15 million is pretty super.
If they try to make this a antique, reunion tour where it's Nick Diaz and George St. Pierre and bunch of
Brock Lesnar, he hits 100, 200. He only shows up for the
once every 100 cards.
Right.
But if they try to do that, he'll be.
He 50. Definitely won't be making UFC 400.
He'll fight The Rock.
That was a good fight. Oh. Those elbows were vicious there against the cage. We got 5 in the chat now. Thank you guys for joining.
Yeah. Fire off some questions.
Yeah, let's chat some MMA. But man, those right there, right after those 2 knees is when Clay Guida landed that big overhand.
Mm-hmm.
How many languages does this guy translate for? I've heard him do Portuguese, Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
He does
Sharp
it all.
Dude.
7 in the chat. Thank you guys so much for joining. Drop us your questions. Let us know who do you have in the next fight. You guys think Sean Brady is going to welcome Kelvin Gastelum to 170 with a bang, or you think Kelvin's going to come back to the division that he once competed in and show us that this is the proper weight class for him? Let us know.
There he is, Chuck Liddell. Yeah.
George the Great asks, do both of you guys train MMA? That's a great question, George.
Yeah.
I am 35 years old. I'm a dad. And I train casually for fun. I do jiu-jitsu. I train a little Muay Thai. I started doing the sport way too late in life to really try to do anything competitively, but it keeps me in shape and I really enjoy doing it. Nick trains a lot more than I do. He's in there 6 days a week. He's got a pro boxing record. And
I train every day with some of the best fighters on the planet. My gym here in Houston, Texas, we're home to a lot of great fighters, former fighters from the UFC, current fighters, current top contenders in the UFC. And yeah, I'm in there every day fighting with some of the best in the world. So I'm learning a lot and been doing it for years now. Like he said, I had some knee injuries early on, so I went the professional boxing way. Did that for a few years, but after I rehabbed my knee back to normal, back to 100%, I got back into MMA and
pro debut coming soon. Or
yeah, pro debut is probably coming soon. Yeah, just staying busy, staying active, staying healthy, and year round I'm on weight. So,
but yeah, thanks for the question, man. George the Great is a staple on the channel. Yeah, we appreciate all the comments. I know you watch a lot of the videos, so thank you guys. We just crossed over into 5,000 subscribers, Nick. It's crazy. Yeah,
I mean, people hear like, you know, these Instagram followers that have bought 200 million accounts and it's all fake. But if you think about like putting 5,000 people in a building, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, it is. And it's like, I will say that like we obviously do the clips on Instagram, we do the clips on TikTok, but as far as like the community of people who follow us, I would say that the most tight knit is the YouTube community.
Yeah,
for sure,
I really like it, and I never knew much about it. He wrote something back.
Sorry,
I got younger.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Sometimes I think I'm the one that looks 35. Yeah. I'm still in my 20s, holding on to that for now, but that'll be gone soon. George the Great. Do you train MMA or are you just a fan?
Yeah.
If not, when are you going to start?
Let's see here. Yeah, it definitely, the training will keep you young though. I'd love to. I do a little jiu-jitsu tournament every now and then, stuff like that. Yeah. But you know, maybe one of these days just to cross it off the bucket list. Yeah, but right. We'll
just
see.
Keep our options open.
Yeah.
Right?
If we start
just a fan, okay.
Just a fan, cool. That's how it starts.
Yeah, and, always, yeah.
But I will say training, like it's not MMA, it's jiu-jitsu's different, you know, but it's similar.
Yeah.
But you know, starting jiu-jitsu even just as a hobby, to me is one of the most fun, like rewarding physical things that you can do. And it kind of puts you in the scene, but you're not, you know, you're not getting hit every day like you are sparring, getting those cauliflower ears, you know, it's like they call it the gentle art for a reason. It's not so gentle, but it's fun to participate in.
Yeah, your lower back will feel it, and you know, grappling can be pretty brutal on your body, but yeah, there's definitely a different level of intensity when you go from just grappling to doing MMA. MMA is a whole nother ball game
for sure.
And when you get to be in there with like some of the best in the world, like I'm not going to name drop really, but like we've got some of the guys that are top contenders in the UFC, and they're in the gym with us every day. So you can really gauge where you are in the sport and with your progression by watching, you know, the guys that are doing what you want to do for a living already. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
The thing is, it's just so tough to crack into the scene. And that's why, like, I'm really excited that the PFL is, sorry guys. Looks like we're having some technical difficulties here with the video.
Yeah. Please stick with us. Please stick with us.
Stick with us. We're still live. We're just having some camera troubles.
Yeah. George, let us know. We've kind of all shared our little predictions for the fights, and I was off on the Clay Guida one, but I think I might get back on track with Sean Brady.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a good fight.
Sean.
I feel like Kelvin Gastelum, if he can really stick to his diet and keep that discipline to stay at 170, looks like we're back on now. I think he can compete for a while at welterweight, and I think he's, you know, you throw him in there with Leon, you throw him in there with Colby, and he's got a fighting chance against anybody. I mean, Kelvin's a dog. He gave Israel Adesanya one of his toughest fights at 185.
Yeah, it looks like he actually took the weight cut serious for this one too.
Yeah, he looked good in the picture. I saw like a side-by-side comparison. Yeah. So Brady's number 9, 15-1. So that one loss to Bilal is Brady's only loss
and that was his last fight, right? I mean, he was 15-0, and then he.
Yeah, I think he did take some time off from there.
I mean, it's been a
while. Yeah, it's been a long time.
So Kelvin's a good matchup for him then. Yeah, for him to come back to, because you know there's a few people that don't experience ring rust, but most everybody does. So
yeah,
he'll probably be one of those normal people that does as well.
George, who you got in this one, man? You taking Brady, or are you picking Gastelum back at 170? Oh, he just video back up. So video back, I'm going with Font, Gastelum, Turner, and Benny. Although I want Bobby to get it. He has a little Masvidal run in him if he can get another nice W. Yeah, I think I'm going to pick Jalen Turner too. I think size and youth is going to come into play here a little bit. But after the whole, dust up with Arman Sarukian and Bobby Green, I think it could light a fire under Bobby. He's always exciting, and I really enjoy watching him fight. He puts on a show, and he's definitely a dog. He's definitely not scared of anybody at 155, as we saw with Arman Sarukian. He wasn't backing down 1 inch. How are we doing with the camera, Chris? Yeah. Cool. We are good on the camera. So, yeah, I think I'm really interested, Nick, to see Davison at 135. I feel like he looked so frail when he used to weigh in at 125.
Yeah.
That he did look a little bit more filled out, and he always had a lot of power at flyweight. So I'm wondering if that's going to translate over.
Yeah, I've never met Davison, but I've got a lot of friends that trained with him a lot, and all the way up to 170-pound fighters and down to 145ers. And they said that he lives at like 165. So for him to make that cut down to 25 was crazy. I mean, he's probably a big, weight-wise at least, a big 35er. So I think this will be a better move for him. Obviously, they're not just going to let him jump right back into like the championship fights, but he can't really just be looming in the top 15 because I think he's head and shoulders above most of those guys. So skill-wise, Rob Font seems like the perfect first guy back at 135.
Yeah, and I mean, if you can beat Rob, you're a serious contender at 135.
Yeah.
Rob Font is, he showed Adrian Yanez that there's levels to this game. A lot of people thought that, he was kind of winning one, losing one there, that Rob Font, especially as he got a little older, he was beatable, but he showed, and it's so funny. Did you hear the story of how he got started in MMA?
No.
He used to like deliver pizzas apparently like 10 years ago or so. And he delivered a pizza to this group of guys that was watching the fights. And he was like, I guess he like delivered the pizza and then hung out for a minute and was like,
didn't they have mats out or something? Like
maybe. I think I heard something about that. Yeah. And he was like, this is cool. Let me try this out.
Yeah.
And, the rest is history.
Yeah.
We got 2 more comments here from George. Yeah. The Eastern European dudes always pull up in large groups. Bobby punked them solo. America is greater than. Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, spoken like a true American. I like it. I like it. I think Figgy will struggle with Font's reach, but Figgy may have the speed working for him. Yeah, I mean, Rob's pretty fast too. That's going to be a really technical fight. And I think, Nick, you might be right that even though he's coming up a weight class, he might be bigger than Rob Font because Rob Font's not that big of a fella. He's kind of
lanky.
Yeah,
he might be taller, but I think
he does have a nice reach, and he works that jab really well. So if he can keep Figgy at the edge of his jab, he may do some work.
That's why I knew he was going to piece up Yanez, because Yanez is a boxer basically. He goes in there and just throws heavy hands, and Rob Font's a better boxer, and he knows how to throw volume and throw some power. So, I had a feeling the writing was on the wall for that one. But Rob Font is one of the elite guys in that division, and as if he's able to get back to his winning ways and get on a nice win streak, I could see him and Sean being a really fun match.
Yeah.
I could see that one being interesting.
Yeah, I think they kind of wanted to make that one. I feel like there's 2 guys at 135 that are just like barreling their way towards the top of the division, and that's Merab and Umar. Yeah, and I feel like one of those 2 guys is going to grab the belt maybe not before the end of next year, because I feel like Sean's going to get past Cheeto, and then he may try to do something fun. Who knows?
You hear what he said, right?
What's that?
You hear what Sean said?
I know he wants to box Gervonta, but
but no, as far as MMA goes, he said he wants to. Font should smoke him from
Avi,
the one and only
to the chat,
Avi.
man.
What up,
welcome,
brother?
Yeah, thanks for joining.
Yeah. But I was actually talking to Avi about what Sugar said today. He said that he's going to keep his eye on the winner of Volkanovski versus Topuria. If it's Volkanovski, he'll continue to defend at bantamweight. If Ilia Topuria beats Volkanovski, he said he's moving up and going to take on Ilia.
Yeah. Either one of those matchups are really bad for Sean. I think.
I don't really like that move for him. I think either one of those he loses, but Ilia Topuria he's got champ written all over him. And as much as I love Volkanovski and I believe in Volk, I think that Volk took that Islam fight on short notice, and that sort of discombobulated him.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he's just trying to get back into fighting. I don't think he's necessarily as concerned with winning as he is fighting. And he also went up to 155, did really good last year or the beginning of this year, whatever. And then he came back down to 45 and was like levels above.
I mean, he smoked Yair.
Right.
That was too easy.
Right. So I think now he's like, okay, I'm going to go play with the big boys at 155. But if I don't get my hand raised or whatever, then I'll just come down here and destroy whoever it is. But Ilya Taporia can't be looked over. Ilya might be the guy that spoils the party for Volk.
Yeah,
and then he's going to be in no man's land. Obviously, he's going to have to get a rematch. But if Sugar wants to get there, they know how marketable Sugar is, and they'd probably try to give him that and screw Volk out of an instant rematch. So
yeah, and I would have said Volk is going to win that fight, but for that knockout that Islam put on him, I worry about how he's going to come back from that.
Yeah. Avi said
Sugar will die against Volk or Ilya. I agree. Yeah. And then George said Song Yadong versus O'Malley would be a sick fight. That would be fun. It's going to be interesting to see what Song does next week.
Yeah. You know what else I could see happening? Because Ilya is clearly kind of taking the approach of like, I want to be a megastar. And Conor McGregor, he's got the look. He's got on the. I had a feeling this is how this
Brady's he's working to the back.
Like
I was saying, Brady, dude, this guy beat Craig Jones in a grappling match, in a jiu-jitsu match, which is insane if you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, Sean.
Now, if they're fighting over tacos, then Kelvin might be able to take him. But Sean Brady's definitely a freak.
It's funny. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, what I was going to say quickly is I could see Ilya trying to do the same thing. Everybody and their mother that gets a belt these days goes up and does champ status. Tell me you couldn't see Ilya going up and trying to fight Islam.
I could see it, but I think Islam wins that fight.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was talking to Avi about this, and like I'm as big of an Ilya fan as anybody, but a decision win over Josh Emmett just doesn't get me to the point where I'm saying that that's his best win, right? Mm-hmm. That doesn't take me to the level where I'm ready to say he's the UFC's next big star. 100% he's got the look. He's got the fighting skill. He's only like 26 or 27 years old. So for sure he will get there at some point.
Right.
If he's going to get past Volkanovski, I think that's yet to be determined. But I think his chances increased when Islam hit him with that head kick KO. I think Volk's durability now as he gets to be 35, 36, it's going to start to,
let's go,
wear here.
Yeah.
Look at that nice reversal by Kelvin Gastelum.
Avi actually was talking to a friend. I met him through FaceTime, a guy that lives out in Spain and trains at the same gym Ilya trains at.
Yeah.
And so he knows him personally. And he was like, man, everybody was loving Ilya out here. But ever since he started to take these bigger fights and become a more high-profile guy, they've closed the gym. And now all the local fighters that fought at this gym have to find a new place to train because he stopped allowing – I don't know if it was him or who owns the gym or his request to the person that owns the gym, but they've kind of privatized the entire gym.
Yeah,
now.
I don't like that.
And, I mean, coming from a gym that has Derek Lewis, Kevin Holland, Terrence McKinney – Rafael Alves, and the list goes on. And that's not even touching the boxing world champions like Regis Prograis, O'Shaquie Foster in our gym. They're all there every day. They don't, shut the gym down. They don't close it off to anybody. And they definitely don't make fighters go look for a new home. So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Makes me want to see Volkanovski win that one. But you can't deny Ilya Taporia is one of the most exciting prospects.
Yeah, no doubt
regardless
about that.
of his gym etiquette.
So Harrison Blair, hey from Charleston. Hey man, thanks for joining the live. And
good to see you.
Let's see here. Yeah, Avi said tell them Taporia took over the gym. Yeah, I really I don't like that. Yeah. And then George the Great. Wait, does Song have a fight booked? Yeah, he's fighting next weekend, George. Yeah, Chris Gutierrez. That's going to be the main event for next week before the UFC 296 pay-per-view.
Well, you know what that means. When they put you on a main event slot, they think you have 5-round aspirations. And obviously Song's a few wins away from that, and I guess Chris Gutierrez is too, but that means the UFC thinks highly of them, or else they wouldn't put you in that sort of a spot.
Yeah.
Especially because neither of them are really big draws.
Man, Sean Brady's coming back with a vengeance, man.
That guy in the crowd looks like an emaciated version of Patty Pimblett.
What do you think about old Patty? You think Tony Ferguson?
I think David Goggins and Tony Ferguson are about to take it to him.
I hope so, man. I feel like if Tony loses to Patty, he's got to just go ahead and call it a day. I mean,
Tony can win. Patty. I don't think Patty has the skills. He's got the fame. He's obviously a recognizable name, but I just don't think he has the skills. There's a few people that have come in with a lot of hype. Almost nobody's come into the UFC with as much hype as Patty, but I just don't think he has the skills.
No, he's not even remotely ready for the top of 155. But that said, I do think he can beat Tony.
Yeah.
I just hope it.
I hope
selfishly, I hope he doesn't.
Tony's the type of guy to lose 7 fights in a row just to come back and beat Patty Pimblett. I've seen that meme out there, and I do like it.
Throwing Patty rubbed me the wrong way trying to get Ariel to pay him for the interview and all that sort of stuff. That was weird. And, it's kind of was like, dude, like Conor McGregor, John Jones, these people come on Ariel's show for free. And, you want to get paid. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
George says, yeah, you better come with a vengeance, especially if you're getting finished by Bilal. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and Harrison says, how's it been, boys? It's been good, man. It's been good. Thanks for joining. It's good to hear from you.
Harrison, good to see you playing live shows, man. I see you drumming, playing with your band. So keep that up, man. Yeah. Keep it in the family.
Great job, man. Great job.
One day, if I ever make it out to Charleston, I'll come play a song or two for y'all.
Yeah, there you go. But, and that was kind of Bilal answered all the questions against Sean Brady. And I think that's what made a lot of people want to see Bilal fight for a title.
Yeah.
But it's just so tough. I mean, he's as much as I like Bilal, he's just not a draw. And I just don't think he's going to I think we're going to know a lot after UFC 296 about what's going to happen with welterweight because one, we have this fight happening right now. So if Sean Brady can finish Kelvin Gastelum, he's going to reinsert himself. He's still going to have to win one or two, but we've got Ian Gary, are we going to see?
It's moving day at 170.
Yeah. Ian Gary and Luque, that's going to be one. Then you got Wonder Boy and Shavkat. I think that if Wonder Boy can pull something out of his what and beat Shavkat, they're going to make a Wonder Boy title fight just because they want to see Wonder Boy fight for a title. But then again, if Shavkat finishes Wonder Boy, he's right there. They wanted him to be the backup anyways.
Yeah. Imagine a world where Colby Covington and Stephen Thompson are fighting for the 170 title. I like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it.
Before these guys all come in and steal the show, right? We've got all these monsters at 170, and they're the future of the division.
I think it's going to be hard for Colby to beat Leon. I think Leon's a tough matchup. I haven't made my final prediction on that yet, but I think that's a tough matchup.
Tune in next week.
Sean.
Oh, Danger.
Danger has entered the chat. Hey, guys.
What
doing
up?
Show companions now. Congrats on the 5K. Thank you, bro.
Thank you, brother.
You've been with us since the beginning, so thanks for sticking with us.
Your support really does mean a lot. We're constantly, out here talking in Texas about things that you've said to us or comments you've left in our lives and our premieres and stuff. So
we feel like we're old friends and we've never met. So we really do appreciate it. The YouTube community is growing and we couldn't be more grateful.
You're an OG. So, you're an OG to the channel for sure.
That's for sure. Yeah, we're gonna try to keep doing these. Oh, Leo Mana.
Oh, God. Come on, bro.
We got Mana Boy in the chat.
My
Mana,
boy,
it's not too late.
Chat.
Drive on over, man. We got the sofa. We can set you up here.
Yes, sir.
But
I don't know. These Texas drivers can get a little crazy.
Yeah, it is Saturday night.
Yeah.
But
let's go, bro. Hey, is the G-Man, is he grilling up steaks tonight? Last night it was wild. I got a snap from Mana.
Yeah.
And his dad was just firing off on the grill.
Nice.
Sausages, chicken, all kinds of different cuts of steak. He's like a real grill master.
When you guys went out to Vegas, his friend that does the tacos,
Chico. Yeah.
Chico, yeah.
Shout out to Chico.
I gotta have some shout out to Chico. I gotta try the tacos. I've never tried them.
Oh yeah, the best in Texas. Yep. And it's so funny as he was actually looking for some products the other day, and I ended up sending him towards Flor Medica.
Oh, nice.
And he got some CBD stuff for his dog. Yeah.
Man, so Sean Brady is answering all the questions about how Kelvin, I think, is going to do it at 170.
Mana said he's at Max's house. Tell Max we said what's up.
Sean,
he missed a few good days of training though, so you might have to lay into him tonight.
Danger says, thanks, guys. It's been a fun ride. Yeah, we thank you, man. And it's just getting started. We're going to start trying out some different types of content. We're going to have some more interview style stuff with some fighters and more live commentary like this as well. So
Yeah.
Our goal, it may be a lofty one, but our goal for 2024 is to build this to a point where we can do this as like a full-time job. So the Barnhill Brothers is looking to make some moves next year, and all of y'all's support is what will get us there. So thanks so much.
Yeah. Keep it coming. And hey, Mana. Oh, God. YouTube deleted it.
What was it?
It was something Max wrote off Mana's phone, I guess. Hey, yeah, Kelvin. Yeah, like I said earlier, Mana, you might have not heard it, but Kelvin would probably win this fight if it was for like tacos or something. But man, Sean Brady's a dog. And Mana, hey, everybody in the chat, Mana has provided us all with some great highlights, some great finishes, some great, just great rounds of awesome fights from the highest levels of the UFC and everything in between. So show them some love. But at the same time, Mana, I want to know who you're picking for the main, the co-main, and the feature bout. Everything else on the rest of this card, let me know who you got.
Yeah, drop us a comment, Mana. Let us know who's winning the main event.
Yep.
But
hey,
I kind of hate this for Kelvin Gastelum, to be honest. And it's not that I don't like Sean Brady. I just felt like Kelvin Gastelum was going to get a fresh coat of paint with this, move back down to 170. And I thought he looked real good at the weigh-ins. He was able to make the weight, which has been, kind of something that has haunted him for a while. But Sean looks good, man.
Kelvin, it said on there he's 32, and he seems so much older because he's a vet. But he's at that same point Clay Guida's at, where he's a name.
How old is he? 32?
32.
Kelvin Gastelum?
Yeah. I thought he was older than that.
I remember
it's like Max Holloway. I think Max is 31, and that's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's so young. But I remember when, for your birthday, for your 21st birthday, actually, we went to Vegas for
Anderson
Silva versus Diaz, and Kelvin Gastelum was on that card. And he, who did he fight? I think it was Tyron Woodley that he fought, if memory serves me.
Yeah.
And he missed weight by something outrageous, like 10 or 12 pounds or something. So, I mean, his
par for the course.
His weight has been tough. Danger says my picks suck tonight. LOL.
Mine too.
Dude,
but
that's
I
why I don't bet
Brady
on MMA. Like it's.
I picked Brady for this one because I knew that was a gimme. But I thought Clay Guida might be able to get it done. But
there's this one guy that I follow him on Instagram, and he's kind of become a friend of the channel, Matty Betts. I don't know if you know him, but he does these crazy parlays. Like he won like $25,000 on a parlay at UFC 295.
Put like $100 on it.
Yeah, put like $100. It's crazy, but it's weird. I feel like I've watched the sport long enough. Yeah. I've done enough training to know at least surface level what the hell I'm talking about, and I still can't pick who's going to win a freaking fight. Yeah. But that's just a different skill. It really is.
Yeah. One of my friends, Cody, he's a fighter, great professional fighter. He did a parlay. I think it was $20, and it was a full card parlay. If he would have got it right, it would have paid him $9,600 or something crazy like that. He was one fight off.
Wow.
And it was all the way. It was like the co-main or something. God, it was Blachowicz Pereira, that card. It was that the fight that screwed him up? Yeah. He picked, I guess, Blachowicz to get that one. But man,
crowd's not too happy about this. But I get it. Sean Brady's doing what he's got to do to win this fight. Kelvin Gastelum is, the guy that put the striking work on Israel Adesanya in a lot of ways, not all that long ago. So Sean Brady's a good grappler. Like I said, he's competed against ADCC medalists and gotten his hand raised in grappling. Yeah. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's looking for a head and arm triangle here. That's pretty tight. If he cuts this knee across, this might be all she wrote for Kelvin.
Yeah.
Kelvin's got that, telephone defense there, but that only helps you for so long.
Yeah, he's gonna have to buck, and there you go.
He was able to get himself out, but
we're in round 3. They're getting a little bit slick, so
looks like Brady was working like a Kimura grip there.
Yeah, Sean Brady's
nice body,
man.
Just
this is a great return.
Hammer fist to the to the thigh.
This is a great.
Oh wow, nice Kimura there.
You think he's gonna get it?
He may finish this.
It looked for a second like he was about to slide down to a wrist lock. I was about to say, there's no way we're seeing a wrist lock finish tonight.
Yeah. Oh, he got the tap. Yeah, damn, that was tight.
That looked like a manhandling.
That was a good return for Sean Brady. Let's get to the chat here.
Yeah.
Harrison Blair, hey Nick, give me a call a little later on. I want to show you the new rig.
Let's go, baby. I'll call you.
Avi says Brady is smoking Gastelum. Yeah, that was pretty much a domination. And then Danger. Oh, no bets, just on Discord. I'm running at 65.7% on every UFC fight this year. 316 out of, or I guess Danger, that means that you've won, or you picked 165 correct out of 316. Is that what you mean there? And then Mana, appreciate the love. Probably all off these picks, but I got Rob, Bobby, and Benny.
Let's go.
So that's pretty much. I think I picked Rob Font, but I picked I got Jalen and I got Benny.
Yeah.
I picked
back. Saruki and then I didn't pick for the co-main, but I'm gonna go with Bobby Green because I think everything that happened at the thing kind of showed us that he's just a gangster. He's not going to be punked, and I feel like that kind of energy is going to be good for him to carry into a fight. I think he's got real fight energy. It's not like he's not the type of guy to bow to his opponent or none of that stuff. Like, he's a gangster.
Yeah, he got in there with Islam on short notice. He was like, "I'll take that fight,"
right, and
no problem.
Bobby's a G, and Armin came up and tried to start that stuff with him, and I think that sort of energy is going to be a good thing for Bobby Green to walk into. So
I just feel like Jalen's so much bigger at the weigh-ins. He looked like, and it's crazy.
Jalen,
did you see that picture of him and Chimaev together?
Yeah,
he's like damn near bigger than Chimaev.
He was at the PI when we were there, and he was so big.
How that guy makes 185 or sorry 155 is beyond me. I was thinking of Chimaev.
He's so tall.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good fight. They're obviously stylistically and physically completely different opponents, but it'll be interesting. But I think Bobby Green's just he's a dog, man. I think this was the good thing that happened to him was getting into an altercation with the main event guy, and that sets up perfectly. I know the UFC doesn't really love trying to make fights off of stuff that takes place outside of the octagon. Yeah. But every now and again, it makes sense.
But honestly, I think Arman Sarukian would beat Bobby Green, inside the octagon, but it didn't seem like Arman wanted to take it outside with Bobby. Bobby certainly wasn't backing down.
Yeah, Mana said he agrees. Yeah, bro. I think the way that he, had Sarukian's people come at him, and then he was like, you're not gonna punk me like that. And then he showed up and everybody was posting Saruki and shoving him or punching him. And he's like, no, you want to get a clip? Here's me, hitting him back. Yeah. And I just think Bobby's I think Bobby's that guy. He comes as advertised, and what you see is what you get. And I think Jalen Turner's going to be going to have his hands full.
Yeah, tough fight.
Yeah,
let's hear what old Sean Brady has to say.
Yeah.
Thanks for the shout out. Yeah. Danger said win-loss, 481 total fights. You won 316, lost 165. Man, you should have been betting. You probably would have been way ahead this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I've come to the conclusion that if I'm going to predict fights, I just go the opposite of Steven, because then one of us is right and then the other one's wrong.
We never set out to do that, but people have called us out like, you guys are just picking opposite, for the videos, but it really is not the case. No. It's so funny. And then sometimes we'll we'll both be kind of on the same fighter when we film a clip, and then you'll say something that will change my mind, right? And I'll change my pick mid video.
I like to flip the script a little bit.
That was a brutal Kimura. That was beautiful. Yeah. Sean Brady's one of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners in the UFC right now.
Everybody's saying Bobby Green's the gangster.
Yeah, I think I'm on an island here with Jalen Turner, guys, but I'm still sticking with it. I'm not going to flip.
Yeah.
So what do we have next? Figgy versus Font?
Yeah.
We got 17 in the chat now. Thank you guys so much for joining.
Come on.
This is awesome.
Appreciate it. Oh,
Holly Holm. Danger, I don't know if you were in the chat when Nick pulled that up on his phone, but he was checking Instagram, and it showed that Ronda Rousey has been offered $15 million to rematch Miesha Tate at UFC 300. Mm-hmm. And now they're talking about that. They're talking about GSP Nick Diaz. I don't know about you, Nick, but I really hope that UFC 300 doesn't turn into the Legends League
Right.
fight. I mean, there's so many good people right now and so many good title fights they could put on. I really hope they don't do that because
they'll probably throw
Yeah.
Nina Drama and Helen Yee on there. Throw a little interesting. If
Dude,
they want to
Nina
get me
she
excited,
blew up.
she blew up.
I've never
big
seen
time.
anybody in the and God bless her. I've never
Hey.
seen anybody in the MMA world blow up like that.
She made some content with Miss Laura Senko too.
I saw
some
that, yeah.
grappling content. So more
She's
power to
funny,
them.
man.
Yeah, they're out there. I don't know how those girls, fighting for a lot of people is kind of brutal to start watching. But
Yeah.
once you get into it, you're hooked and you realize it's two willfully willing opponents
Yeah.
that are getting paid, so it's not so bad. But I don't understand how all these girls and these young TikTokers, these guys and girls that have never been to a fight are now going to Power Slap every week. And like,
Yeah, that's
I don't think I would like to go watch Power Slap. Maybe
No.
I would, but I don't, at first glance, I don't think it's something I would go sit front row to watch.
No, or participate in. But like,
of course not. That it goes like this. It goes boxing first, and then MMA,
Yeah.
and then bare knuckle, probably, and then Power Slap.
in order of what you would participate
of what
in.
I would participate in.
Yeah, I mean, Power Slap, it's like, at least in MMA, if you're technical, you get rewarded for your technique by not getting hit and slipping things. And Power Slap, you just have to stand there and take it.
Yo, Mana, all right, Max thinks he should put the whole bankroll on Rob finishing Figgy.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know. At 135, man, you know what it's like. There's
finishing. I mean, Rob he finished Yanez, but
yeah,
Figgy ain't
crushed
Yanez,
him, too. Yeah, exactly. Figgy's got more than one trick.
He's on another
and plus,
level.
Rob Font is a badass boxer. And, if Figgy goes out there and tries to box with him, the same thing that happened to Yanez is going to happen to him.
Yeah.
He's going to get slept bad. But, in my opinion, Figgy's going to go out there and try to be more of a mixed martial artist, not just a brawler. And he's going to – these guys are too technical and tactical to –
Look, they got Yanez on the on the image there.
Yeah. It had to be bad if they're using you on the picture like that.
I need to grab a charger for my phone.
Yeah, go ahead.
And
Go
use
ahead.
the bathroom. I'll be right back.
I'll hold the 1s and 2s down for myself. If you got another charger, grab one for me too. Oh, there's that. Rob Font's got some great boxing. But yeah. Yeah, Figgy looks good too in these highlights, but these are 25ers, which is just different. Rob Font's, he's crushing folks at 35, which, Mana, firsthand, the body types at 35 are just different than 25. And while Davison is a heavier 25er, and I think he's suited for 35, his body type is that of a 25er still. So I think Rob Font, I'm going Rob to win the fight, but I think he's going to probably have to go most of the rounds. Is this Howler Head? Is that what we're watching here? Got that little Howler Head commercial? Fireball. The original Howler Head. That was what we used to drink at the shows. It was Rumpleman's or Fireball. Wild. Yeah, Harrison, we'll catch up, brother. No worries. And Danger. Yeah, we have an email. We've got a company email. And okay, it's the Barnhill Bros at Gmail. Bros as in BROS. I'll type it in. Is it the?
Yeah, the Barnhill Bros.
The Barnhill Bros at gmail.com. But yeah, we're on Instagram as well, and I believe we just started our Twitter, or as it's currently called now, X, our X adventure. So you can join us over there. But we are already going full steam ahead over on Instagram and TikTok. So if you ever want short clips and you don't have time to watch a full video or come hang out for the premieres, go over to Instagram. You can check us out there. And if you ever need to send us DMs, of course.
Yeah, thanks, Danger. We
Come on.
appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
I know it. You're burning the midnight oil over there, man. I know you're in the UK, so
Yeah.
So what's that? 6 hours ahead? 7 hours ahead?
From us, I think it's
It is
7.
7:43 right now,
For-
Central Standard Time.
For us, I think it's 7 hours or no 6.
Yeah.
No,
Did
it's 7. It's got to be 7.
1:44 a.m.
I don't even know what time it is here. 7:44. There we go.
They keep running these same advertisements, man.
Yeah, they don't have that many commercials.
So final prediction, Rob Figgy, who you got?
Rob, Font.
Yeah.
Rob Font.
Rob decision.
3-round
I'm going to go
decision.
Rob
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah.
29-28.
Texas, so Rob decision could mean 2 things.
Yeah.
Could get robbed in the decision.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Luckily, neither of them are from here, so there won't be any home cooking, but there could be some corrupt judging.
Yeah, you never know.
He's that Massachusetts cartel. What is it called?
Yeah,
Fight cartel?
I think it's Fight Cartel out of the Boston area.
Kind of a cool
Danger
name.
says this is a good card time. I like them later, not just the 5 a.m. main card starts. Yeah. I don't know how you do that, man. Do you like stay up all night and watch it, or do you like go to bed early and get up and watch it? But it's hard, man. It's so funny because Nick and I are from Georgia, which is East Coast time, and so the main cards would typically start at like 10 p.m. for the pay-per-views, so they'd end at like 1 a.m. But honestly, I like now that they start at 9 p.m.
Yeah, we're spoiled here.
Yeah. We have a good start time.
And to be completely honest, I wouldn't want to be West Coast because the cards start so early.
Like daylight outside when the card's over.
Yeah, and I'm not the biggest fan of daytime cards. I'll watch them, but there's something about spending your entire Saturday doing whatever it is you have to do and then sitting down on your couch comfortably or at your live stream studio and watching the fights. So I like this. This is a good time for me.
Mana says, loving Fonts walkout. Welcome to Jamrock. Yeah, he comes out to it. Yeah. That's a great walkout song. Mana, what was your walkout song? What's your song of choice, or do you mix it up? You go with some Houston rap. What do you do?
You got to put down for H-Town.
You know, it's talking about Houston rap. It's so funny when Cyril Gahn fought Derek here in Houston.
Yeah.
They played what song was it? Mana, you could probably drop it in the comments and let us know, but it was some old school Mike Jones song or something. And it was Cyril Gahn. And the whole crowd went crazy because it was like a Houston crowd. Obviously, you hear Houston rapper, like, oh, Derek must be about to come out of the tunnel. And then here comes Cyril Gahn.
Yeah,
so I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, and Derek still comes out to his classic tried and true Houston rap of dropping tops or whatever.
That's right,
But still, it'll catch you by surprise when you hear a Houston rapper coming through the speakers.
Still tipping, that's right.
Still tipping, that's gangster. Yeah.
Ooh, that guy's doing a shoey.
Yeah.
Tuivasa's not even on the card, and he's
But you know, Mana, we're always joking around. I remember getting mad hype.
Mad hype.
Looking, it was gone. Yeah, exactly, bro. But Mana knows a lot about reggae. He's always bumping reggae.
Is that right?
Yeah, when
nice.
it's not, So
Danger says usually stay up chatting online. Sometimes watch him on Sunday afternoons. Depends how tired I am and how good the card is. I have to confess I went to bed for Derek Gilaton. Honestly, if you weren't already asleep for that one, it would have put you to sleep. Oops, sorry, we got some technical difficulties here. The stream just cut out on us.
Was that guy's name Gilaton?
I don't know how you pronounce Almeida. I don't know how you pronounce his first name.
I was gonna say.
Didn't bother learning after that fight.
Yeah. And I don't think he's ever gonna get another main event spot.
Sorry, we're getting the video feed back up now. Yeah. We are, I don't know where you guys are, but we're 4 minutes and 50 seconds into the first round. So some of you guys might be ahead of us. Some of you guys might be a little bit behind us. Mm-hmm. Font's kind of pushing the pace here. Figgy's kind of playing the outside, which is pretty interesting because Figgy was, so powerful at 125. He was kind of the impose at your will kind of guy, walking people down. It'll be interesting to see if he's more cautious at 135, which it looks like he's being.
Yeah. He's being cautious, but at the same time, he's got that unpredictable, aspect to him. And he's just like one of those dudes that'll throw some wild shit right off the jump.
Nice one, too, by Rob Font there.
I'll tell you, his body looks different at 35. Not just like the fullness, but it looks like he's changed his composition a little bit,
Yeah,
which is good.
And, you know, I think it said one of them was 35,
35
one
and
of them was 36. I think
Font's 36.
you know, both of them being that age, cutting down to 125 from what did you say Figueiredo weighs
shoot.
normally?
We're way ahead.
Y'all are way ahead.
Volume down.
Oh shoot, sorry, Mana. Let us know if the volume's coming through too loud. Danger, I'm about 10 seconds ahead. I won't give spoilers. Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah. And I don't want to either.
Yeah, so far pretty even. Figgy looking for that straight right hand there.
I like that Venom went off and did some new designs. Obviously, I'm a fan of the Venom stuff. I've never worn it. I've never worn the fight stuff. But I kind of like that they went with like the snake print or whatever that is with like some new lines. They're already switching it up. I like it better than the Reebok stuff.
Yeah, the Reebok. I mean, Venom is a fight gear company, right? And you know, Reebok did the deal because it was a massive deal, and it was the first time that a major fight organization had, you know, actual uniforms, so to speak.
Right.
And so it seemed like a good opportunity. But at the end of the day, I'm glad to see a fight apparel and training gear company actually get the sponsorship.
Yeah, me too.
It'll be interesting to see when the Venom deal runs out, if they stick with it or if they go with another company.
Yeah.
So far pretty even, about halfway through the first round.
I'm interested in seeing if ESPN resigns. I have to assume they will, but you know, you never know.
Yeah,
the contract was only what was it, 7 years or something?
Yeah,
like
I think it's coming up in a year or two. PFL is on ESPN as well, so it seems like ESPN's making a play for MMA, and they want to continue doing that. I think they've had success with it.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's kind of like it's kind of like the crypto thing. Like, you're not going to get rid of MMA. It's now a mainstream sport, so
yeah,
everybody has to get on board. But you know, do you want to be the one putting it out there, or do you want to just let it go somewhere else? I mean, there's not that many shows in town left. Showtime is out of the fight business completely after this year.
And now with Bellator's consolidation, they're going to be on ESPN.
Yeah. So everybody.
It almost seems to me like Figgy's a little bit hesitant to engage. And when he is engaging, he's just throwing like single big shots.
Well, and
that's not going to
Joe Rogan is in the crowd.
Yep.
And you're right. He's kind of fighting like he's like he's scared to engage. And I, you know, maybe if it's a 3-round fight, so he shouldn't bank on Rob Font getting tired. Rob's got a great gas tank. He knows how to stay composed.
Ooh, that was a beautiful uppercut by Rob.
Remember, we're a little bit off on time, so let's not.
Nice jab by Figgy. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Body shot.
Remember, we don't want to spoil.
Let's see here.
All right, we're at 50 seconds left in the first round. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know where you guys are. We don't want to spoil, but we want to comment on the fights as well.
Yeah. And after this round, refresh the page. See, there's Rogan in his hat, his paperboy hat.
Yep, he's got that Peaky Blinders hat on.
Yeah,
the Thomas Shelby.
And you're big in. You watch Peaky Blinders. You love the show.
Great show.
Bill Burr, I heard him talking about it. He doesn't drink that much anymore, but he said he was starting to drink and he realized he had a bit of a problem because he liked to drink scotch. So he was drinking it too often. He goes, and you know, like Peaky Blinders was one of those shows that brought it out of me. He goes, I'd sit down and watch it and just, I drank with the show.
Dude, I'm telling you, Thomas Shelby will make you want to drink an Irish whiskey and smoke a cigarette, neither of which I do, but it seems so appealing when he does it.
Yeah.
So good first round. I definitely think Figgy landed the bigger shots.
Yeah.
But Rob Font certainly landed more and was more active and put the pressure forward.
Yeah.
So, man, we've had over double digits people in the chats for the last half hour. Thank you guys so much for joining. Y'all are great.
Yeah,
y'all are making this fun.
And keep firing off comments. We love chatting with you guys. It gives us more stuff to talk about. And obviously, we don't want to spoil anything. So if you're behind or if we're not synced up, drop out and then come right back in. And that way we should all be on the same time. Maybe Chris can work some young Jamie skills for the next live and he can have the little timestamp at the bottom. I don't know how they do that sort of stuff. It's all wizardry for me.
If we get 20 people in the chat, Chris is going to walk out and show himself on camera.
No, 20, more like 200.
Yeah.
No.
It's so funny because most people don't realize that the Barnhill brothers is a 3-pack.
Right.
Everybody just sees you and I, but truth be told, the most important Barnhill brother is never on camera. He's our youngest brother, Chris. He does all the editing, the thumbnails. Nick and I are way too dumb to do that. So
Right.
if it weren't
just
for
two
him, we
clowns
wouldn't have
talking
a channel.
about fighting. Yeah.
So we got 13 back in the chat now. So I think I saw a few people drop off and some come back on. So it looks like everybody's probably synced up. So
yeah, I just don't want to be a spoiler.
We're starting round 2 here. Who'd you have winning that first round, Nick?
Rob looked good, but then there were some swaying moments. Damn, he went for that weird that high crotch
the
grip.
deep underhook. Yeah,
yeah, that's the deepest of underhooks.
That's it. I think that's Joe Burrow there in the bottom right corner.
Really, football player?
Yeah, for the Bengals.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because if Figgy can get, 135 is just it's so hard. Of all divisions to make a run right now.
Danger said hi to you, Chris.
Yeah, I'm not right.
Oh, cool.
135 is the most difficult to make a run at, I would say.
135 is the premier division right now. 55 has been, and it's got the biggest names, but as of late, man, 135 is just murderer's row.
Yeah.
All the way through the unranked. There's people that are not ranked that are absolute monsters.
Yeah. Because you got like I think Saeed up until I know he won by submission, but like he was outside the top 10 in his last fight.
Yeah.
And now you got Rob Font at number 8. You've got Umar coming up. You've got Marab. Who knows what's going to happen with Aljamain. But it's I feel for you if you're a fighter trying to make it up the 135 ranks right now.
Yeah, it's as tough as it gets.
We got Chris in the chat now.
There we go.
We'll have to put Chris in a thumbnail one day so everybody can see what he looks like.
Right.
He looks like us without a beard.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it still seems a little bit like Figgy is picking his engagements very wisely. That was a nice uppercut there by Rob Font in the clinch.
Yeah, see, I knew Figgy was going to come with more wrinkles to his game than just pure boxing. And Rob Font's a great boxer, but if you're going to stand in there and beat Rob Font, you can't just box with him. You got to go in there, grab him, clinch up a little bit, throw some knees and elbows, and make him miss a lot. Play with kickboxing range. Play with some blitzes. There's things like that Figgy's.
There you go. Speaking of a blitz.
Speaking of a blitz, yeah. And I didn't know if he was going to strike off that or if he was going to shoot for a takedown. Beautiful shot.
Yeah, Figgy's being very economical, but what he's landing are good shots.
Thank you, Danger. That means a lot. We've given him hours of entertainment. Man, you were
appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Like I said, you're the OG of OGs. When we start making merch, the first bit's on the house.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
Definitely getting a hat or a shirt or whatever it is. I don't know if you're a hat guy or if of course you're a shirt person. But, I'm not a hat guy, so a hat is not useful for me. But
the long hair and the hat's a tough look.
Right. Yeah. That's why in Texas, everybody's like, when the rodeo comes, the biggest rodeo in the world, Danger, if you were wondering, is in Houston, Texas. Every year it lasts for 1 month. It starts like in late February, ends in late March. And it's the biggest rodeo in the world. So if you ever want to come, and then you can officially say that this ain't my first rodeo if you ever go to a rodeo following that. But that's the biggest one in the world. There's great musicians every night at the end of the rodeo. It's a whole thing. We get barbecue cook-offs, all that sort of stuff. It's really an awesome time. But everybody's like, man, you got to show up in a cowboy hat. I'm like, I got long hair and it's just, I don't think it's going to work for me. I'm an honorary Texan. I'm not a legit born in Texas Texan.
Our buddy Ronnie came up for the rodeo last year, and he's as Miami as it gets. Ronnie, obviously. He's straight out of Miami Vice.
Yeah, he's vice president for Pitbull.
he literally bought himself a cowboy hat. It was like, I don't know, it works for the rodeo, but I was like, dude, I think this might be a one-time deal sort of thing for you. I don't know if you're going to go back to Miami with the cowboy hat, but
they'll think it's a part of a costume if you're in Miami.
Seriously, Danger says, I love a good hat.
There you go.
Danger,
keep that in mind,
when we
man.
make some merch, we got you, man. I don't know how to ship to England, how that works, but
if we have to
will
hand
figure
deliver
it
it,
out.
we
Yeah.
will.
I would love to go to England for a card.
Yeah. Well,
And
they say
they've been
it's
doing some
electric.
good ones there
They say
now.
it's
Yeah.
electric. Obviously, there's a whole new stable of fighters that are really making themselves known. Obviously, MMA has been good in England for a while, and there's been
Yeah.
some great guys out of the UK as a whole. But now
It's
we
only
got
getting
Leon, Tom Aspinall, we got some champs out of there now, and there's more people coming. Obviously, Patty's a big name, and there's some other great names coming out of there. I'd be willing to bet that there's going to be a lot of good cards on that part of the world for a long time coming.
Yeah. And I think Aspinall is as good as anybody, and that includes John Jones. Like I really hope that the UFC does not screw Tom Aspinall out of letting him defend the interim belt.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to let John and Stipe happen for the undisputed in Q3 of next year and just put Tom Aspinall on ice.
Yeah.
He's young, he's exciting, he's a finisher, all of his wins. Look at that. Wow.
So Figgy's having his moments in every one of these
He's coming on
rounds,
strong
yeah.
at the end of the rounds.
That's Taylor Swift's new boyfriend?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Kelsey.
Wow,
But I don't know football like I know MMA.
Mm-mm.
But what was I talking about? Oh, Tom Aspinall. Yeah, I really hope they don't screw him out of the ability to defend that belt. You guys should consider starting a Discord. Happy to help out and mod if you do. Danger, I really have never even been on Discord. I hear a lot of people talk about it, and it's supposedly a great way to engage with people. But yeah, send us, Chris, can you drop in the chat the email address for the Barnhill Brothers? Send us an email, and I'll give you my phone number. I'd love to chat about it at some point in time, because anyway, you seem to, I see you on the Luke Thomas chats and everything. You definitely got your ear to the ground, all things MMA. So I'd love to pick your brain, because like I said, this next year, Nick and I really, and Chris as well, want to make this like a full-time thing. I'd love to see the channel grow. 2023, I think tripled our following, Nick, on YouTube. So I'd love to see that continue. And this is what we love to do. Nick obviously wants to fight. I'm too old to start fighting now, but if we could do something to make this a career, that would be awesome.
Lenny Lang just wrote something.
Discord is basically a better version of MSN Messenger. Okay, cool.
I never heard of that.
MSN Messenger. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like a group chat.
The MSN is.
I'm gonna hop on it when we get off this live stream. I'm getting on Discord, and I'm gonna figure out what's up with that.
I've heard the words Twitch, Discord.
Yeah,
I've heard of those, but I've actually never.
And I think with this live stream, we can actually, like, from the StreamYard account that we have, we can go live with the same stream on like Twitch, Twitter,
simultaneously.
Yeah, Facebook, like all of it. But
yeah, I don't know anything.
We're just on YouTube now, but we'll give it a shot. Lenny, thank you for joining the live, by the way.
Yeah, we
appreciate it.
you.
Who do you have in this? Who do you have winning this fight so far, Font or Figgy? I feel like Font's had more output, but Figgy's landed the better shots. This is actually, and I've been looking at the chat a little bit, so admittedly I haven't seen some of the exchanges, but this is a hard fight to score.
Yeah, it's one of those ones I really don't know which direction the judges are looking at it, because Rob is controlling the cage shot. And for the first half of each round, he's controlling the cage and he's putting on more strikes. But
wow, look at those live odds.
Figgy's getting big numbers. Yeah.
So definitely the odds makers see Figgy as winning this fight.
Yeah. Well, and you have to look at how they score fights. Dang.
That was a beautiful hook. Holy.
Oh. Come on.
Got to create some separation.
Yep. Yeah, Rob can't just sit there. But see, you don't know what to do. Like,
because Rob can fire off too. Rob, that's a beautiful slip by Rob. Even
Figueredo's throwing with
nice
bad
elbow.
Intentions.
Figgy's powerful, man. We wondered, that was the thing. We're like, will his power translate to 135? And apparently the answer is yes.
And my favorite thing Figgy used to do at 25 was stalk his opponents. He'd hurt them with something big, and then he'd walk in hands down just looking for that kill shot.
The God of War with the red streak in his hair.
Yeah, I like it, man. Figgy's. Oh, my God.
Font coming back with some shots.
Come on.
It's a good fight, man.
It's funny. I was like, this is going to be a calculated fight. And all the way down until the last 2 minutes, it's going to be super calculated. And now they're just about to start throwing because they know anything can go. And at this point,
look at Figgy calling
Font on. Yeah, I don't think they know who's ahead. I don't think they really have any, they can't guarantee. Oh, that was
Yeah,
perfect.
That was a beautiful take. That
was
may have sealed the fight for Davison there.
Yeah, snatch that single leg right there from like
Beautiful
just outside
elbow.
of boxing range. Come on.
Figgy's good, man.
Yeah, I
look at the beautiful knee cut pass
Dang,
straight to
come
wow,
on.
look at that.
Figueiredo's a beast, man.
What
he was
a
the champ
nice,
for a reason.
Yeah.
Man, super impressive. And you have to look at this. Don't look at it as him trying to just stay on top and just grind out the win or steal the round. Man, that timing was so perfect.
Yeah, that knee cut to sort of side control there, and then the way he took mount, that was just seamless. Now he's got the head and arm triangle here.
Yeah, well, but also the takedown. He understood exactly that. He knows how close this fight is. He knows that in a judge's eyes, he could be down 2 rounds, and maybe at least 1. He's got to steal this round. And then when it's an equal fight and you're both landing big shots, in my opinion, he's landing the bigger shots this round, but controlling on top is going to win him this fight.
Yeah.
This last 2 minutes is so important. And I honestly think that in
this
a fight
seals
that's
it.
this close, this is sealing it. Yep. You guys should add a round clock so viewers can sync up.
What time is it right now?
Yeah, I would. Good suggestion, Lenny. I would definitely do that. We can try to figure out how to do that. I don't know if we can add it to an existing live stream, but we are, just so you know, we're 52 seconds left in round number 3.
Sorry if we're spoiling. On our TVs, we got 40 seconds left in the fight. Let us know where y'all are, and that way we can try to sync up.
Yeah, drop us and let us know where you guys are in the stream as well. I know Danger was a few
10 seconds
ahead of us, so I don't.
Did we ever end up getting a bottle opener?
Yeah, I have one downstairs. I can go grab it.
All right.
So unfortunately, I can't do anything tonight, but I'll get that stuff for the next one.
Okay.
Okay, so guys, Chris said he can't do anything tonight with regards to the clock on the screen, but he will do that for the next live, and we're gonna try to do this like every weekend if we can. Yeah.
Lenny's 20 seconds behind us, so you just keep watching the fight, and then this one will be over soon. We'll try to sync up.
Yeah, you should be kind of reaching the end of the fight now, but that was good. I think Davison did enough, man. That was
I don't know who that girl is next to Joe Rogan, but he's doing something that Joe Rogan is not impressed by. She was just like waving her hands like this at him, and he's just looking at her like, what are you doing? That was funny. I don't really play these UFC video games, but it looks to me like they're going down in skill and quality every time.
Yeah, the first game, everybody looked exactly like them.
Yeah.
And now
yeah, I've seen some. I mean, it's literally been 20 years since I played video games, but it's some of the characters I see them post, I'm like, that does not look anything like that guy.
Yeah, Patty Pimblett has an American accent in it. Yeah, it's hilarious. He's like, "What's up, guys?" Yeah, it's funny.
That's a mistake. Like, how could you have that big of an oversight? Like,
right? They're just pumping it out. They don't really care. Checking all the chats, y'all. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you guys for sticking around. We've had over 13 in the chat for a better part of an hour now. So you guys are the best, man. We got to get some multiple cameras in here, Nick, so we can have one on Chris as well, and then a couple for us, and that'll be something for next year.
Let's go. If anybody's looking to send us Christmas gifts, there some more cameras.
That would be quite the lofty ask,
right?
Oh wow, 30-27.
Don't say it. They're 20 seconds behind.
I think we gave it enough time. So Mana says we need a lock for the next fight, fellas.
Yeah. Thank God you didn't.
So are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank God your boy Max didn't bet the entire bankroll on Rob Font there. Would have been a bad. Max may have cut the fights off after that one.
Max is he was his point of view was off on that because he wasn't there for most of the days of training this week. Sorry, Max. Just fucking with you.
So let's see. We need a lock for the next one.
Who's-
Jalen Turner
who's
versus
next?
Bob. I don't feel like
Hey,
there is
Bobby
a-
Green, mean Bobby Green.
I don't feel like there is a lock for this next
I
one.
wish his fight name was Mean instead of the King.
Yeah, mean Bobby
mean
Green.
Bobby
yeah.
Green.
Yeah, Davison, he'll be in the, Rob Font was number 8, 30-27, clean win. He should be 6, 7, come Tuesday morning.
Yeah. Well, my fight history is a little bit clunky. Did he was supposed to fight Cody No Love at 125?
Who's that? Davison?
Yeah, or no? Oh no, he was supposed to come up to fight Cody at one point, and they never fought.
That's right. Yeah, they never fought, but it was
so Cody fights next weekend or 2 weekends from now.
He's on the pay-per-view. I forget who he's
if
fighting.
If he wins, then you could easily see them making that, because Cody can't win very many fights, as of late.
Yeah.
But they still see him as a marketable guy. That's why even though he's 1-6 in his last 7 fights, he's still on the roster.
Yeah.
I could see him and Figgy putting on a good show, and I could see Figgy putting him to sleep.
Yeah,
easily.
Davison versus Cody Garbrandt's a good fight.
Yeah.
And I think Davison knocks him out, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Brian Kelleher.
Yeah. Kelleher's tough.
Ethan, thanks for joining the chat. Rob wins in a 5-round fight. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Rob's got a great gas tank, but Figgy looked good. That was a good showing at 135. I mean, Rob Font is nobody's pushover. So
yeah. That card's great.
Figgy, yeah.
All the way starting with Vicente Luque and Ian Machado.
Yeah.
Man.
Ian
Machado
could not be at a worse press conference than one with Colby Covington.
I can't wait.
In light of what's going on in his world right now.
And since he took his wife's ex-husband's name, he might as well just take Gary out of there and just go by
Ian
Machado.
Yeah. And the thing is too, like, I would feel
brilliant mind in the world of MMA right there.
Who was that?
Aussie MMA.
Oh, he's Chimaev's guy.
Yeah, he's a brilliant. I've been following him for a while. If you like watching good techniques get displayed online, and you like short clips, Instagram, Aussie MMA. I've only met him
Mana's
once.
getting feisty in the chat now.
What do we got?
He doesn't agree with Ethan's assessment of Rob winning a 5-round fight. We'll just put it nicely.
Ethan Lemus. No, but no, I'll tell you, that's Max.
Is it?
Come on, Max.
Oh man.
Is that MMA? Is that Max? I think that's his Xbox name, or PlayStation name.
I didn't know people had Xbox names.
No.
So yeah, back
they
to
throw down on Call of
Ian
Duty.
Machado Gary. I would feel sorry for the guy, but for the fact that he was such a dick to Neil Magny. That whole thing with Neil, like saying he was a bad father and all that, for saying he spanked his kids or something like that. Like, it was like he was not very, very kind to Neil. And I'm a Neil fan. Neil Magny is one of the good guys.
He's also never said one thing creative that he came up with once. He said all of Conor McGregor's lines 5-6 years after Conor said them.
Yeah, and it's like the accent works. I love an Irish accent, but say your own stuff, man. Like,
don't say we're not here to take part. We're here to take over again. Like, that was really cool when Conor said it. It's really lame when he says it.
Yeah, it's really cool when somebody says it for the first time. It's super lame when somebody says it.
And there's a dude named Jesse on Fire. He's an MMA guy. And to say on fire, I mean, if there's ever been a channel that has a guy and it describes him perfectly, it's Jesse on Fire.
Yeah.
That dude gets on his camera. There's not one cut or edit in his videos, and he just lights. As of right now, all he's doing is lighting up Ian Machado's wife, and he's been laying into her. But he's a pretty entertaining guy, and I think he's been growing his channel a lot recently. So.
Yeah, guys, drop the comments in the live chat. Let us know, does Ian Machado Gary have it coming for him with Colby Covington, and if so, is it deserving? Let us know.
I need a bottle opener. Is there a way we can get one?
Yeah, it's down in the kitchen.
I'm not one of those guys that can bite it off or anything.
Since there's a break, do you want to get it?
Yeah, there's a break. I'm going to run down and grab it real quick while we're on break.
I'll hold down the 1s and 2s. All right, they're showing Bobby Green. I'm thinking about doing that same thing with my beard. I don't know if I'm cool enough for that. Man. Yeah, this is fun. It's like Fight Companion, except for we're actually talking about fights. I love when they're talking about anything but fights, and then Callan is like, oh, I think you should jab more. You know, and they're like, shut up. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Stop talking. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's at the Ultimate Training Center. Oh, where's he training out of now? I know he travels a lot. He's so long for the division. Mono, the hash hole, man. Hash hole's being an asshole. Dang, no, that thing looked nice. I will be honest. That looked like a proper smoke. That thing, much like Bobby Green, wanted all the smoke. And I'll go ahead and assume that you guys aren't on the shift tonight. Y'all are just going to be chilling watching the fight. So good on you. And hey, since we're talking about fights and it's still early out here, I want to know who Max is picking and who you're picking, Mana, for the bare knuckle. We got Eddie Alvarez, Platinum Mike Perry. Platinum Mike Perry is kind of like the Bobby Green of bare knuckle in a way. Thank you.
They are the same race.
Same. Here we go. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, man.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you guys for sticking on the live.
Topo Chico.
Max says Perry. Yeah, I think Mike's.
Yeah.
I think Mike might actually finish Eddie Alvarez. As much as I love Eddie, if there was ever a man created for the sport of bare knuckle boxing, it was Mike Perry.
Yeah, and Eddie also doesn't have good striking.
I mean, he did fine against Chad Mendes.
Against McGregor.
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah. That's
Colby
nice.
Colby gonna bring the chaos. He won't miss a controversial press conference. Yeah, you're right about that.
And he brought out Donald Trump's book, whatever that book was. Whenever they had that one press conference,
Part of the deal.
He's
gonna
gonna
bring out the WAG,
the
book
How to
for
Be
sure,
a
yeah.
WAG book. Yeah.
That must be Danger. Maybe you can fill us in. That I think that's like an English term of some kind. I wasn't familiar. I had to look it up.
Say stuff WAG and slag. I think they call men that are not.
I never knew what they meant by WAG, but
the guy who walked out to the Halo theme song. Yeah. I love that Mike Perry asked the UFC to play the Halo theme song for the video game, and they played Halo by Beyonce. And he embraced it and just went anyways and sang along to it like
that's
he
hilarious.
picked it. Yeah. You know, so many people would have just been pissed about it, but it ended up being a viral moment.
Yeah, Danger says, I'm not big on bare knuckle, but Perry seems born to it. And Steven is saying what I'm typing. Yeah, I mean, if the guy's made some money.
You see him decorating his Christmas tree?
Yeah, his Christmas tree was like 15 feet tall. And it was
and it was tiny in his big old house.
Yeah, good for him, man.
He needs
good for
it.
him.
Wonder where the Platinum Princess is these days.
They've been not together for a long time.
I know.
He's got kids with somebody else.
I'm
now.
surprised she's not fighting bare knuckle.
You would think that she would be involved in it. Yeah. WAG, came up from all the footballers, soccer players' wives. So I guess it's like, does it stand for something, Danger? Does it like the acronym is, is it wife and girlfriend or something?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It might be, it might just be one of those things.
But yeah,
I listen to the Arctic Monkey. Danger Mouse, I'm a big fan of the Arctic Monkeys, and he has a line where he's talking about how all the guys are slag, and I think slag and WAG, they must have some sort of correlation.
Must be, yeah. Must have some crossover.
I don't know. Great band though.
But yeah, Arctic Monkeys are good. Didn't they play here not that long ago?
They played in Austin.
Yeah.
They should have come to Houston, but for some reason they didn't.
You're going to Queens of the Stone Age here in a couple days, huh?
Yeah. Oh, next week.
Next
Saturday,
week,
yeah.
Wives and girlfriends, yeah. So that's what it stands for. Thanks, Danger. We appreciate it.
Dang.
It feels like it's like a decent amount of time between the last fight and this co-main event.
Usually it's full of commercials whenever there's like a bunch of knockouts, but that wasn't a knockout.
Man, if you put a title fight on top of this card, it really could have been a pay-per-view.
Yeah, and I mean the fights are delivering. I think, at the end of the year, they really try to go all out. And so I feel like this 296 is right on par with what they needed for
Yeah.
for the final pay-per-view of the year.
Except next weekend it's okay. You know, Gutierrez versus Song Yadong.
Yeah, there can't possibly. Oh, you know who's fighting? Hyeni Dos Santos.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, shout out to Hyeni. Our
one of our teammates is fighting next weekend. I think she's like the first or second fight of the night. She's making her UFC debut. Absolute monster. 115 world champion. Now she's 105 world champion. She moved up to 115, and now she's making her UFC debut. And I think she's going to do pretty good in it. She's a dog. She fights really well. She's good everywhere. Black belt tattooed on her neck. So,
yeah,
you know she's legit. They're actually in the crowd, her and Colton.
Yeah, check her out next weekend, guys. Hyeni Dos Santos. Her husband, Colton England, also a great fighter. Battled a lot of life adversities, beat cancer. He's trying to work his way into the UFC. Colton did fight on the Contender Series, didn't he?
Yeah, he fought a monster on the Contender Series.
Like short notice and everything.
Like El Loco was the guy's name.
Yeah.
He's like the #1 guy out of Central America, and he's in the UFC just tearing through people now. I can't. Maybe Chris can bring up his name. His name is like El Loco.
Oh, dude, Bobby Green's almost 10 years older than Jalen. And how
much charge you got?
I got enough. If you need it, you can take
just
it.
For a second. I got 3.
Yeah.
15 in the chat. Thanks, Shaw.
Yeah, thank you guys. Keep the questions coming.
Yeah.
So Danger says Arctic Monkeys' first album is on my all-time best albums, and AM is a very good too. They're from my hometown. Oh, I knew you were from that area, and I knew they were from that general area. I didn't realize that you guys were actually from the same town, but
that's awesome.
What's that fella's name? Alex Turner?
Alex Turner.
Yeah, he's a sharp dude. I'm a fan. You turned me on.
He's one of my favorite singers of all time, and great albums, man, for sure. And honestly, a lot of people, you know, for the call Tranquility Base. If you listen to those a few more times, you've listened to them, man, I promise those are like some of the best albums out there. And you know, if you're a rock music fan and you like the evolution of bands, obviously the Arctic Monkeys can't be playing the same sort of stuff they played in their early 20s. Now they're in their early 40s or whatever. But, you know, there's an evolution to their music, and it's really progressed into a really cool, mature style. And I really like The Car, and I really like Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino. Manuel El Loco Torres, I think is his name.
That's who Colton fought on Contender Series?
Colton fought him on Contender. He got poked in the eye, but the ref didn't see it, so they let the guy continue, and he ended up finishing Colton. But regardless, it was a competitive fight while it lasted. They're in the crowd tonight. Colton, awesome dude, top to bottom.
There's that Full Send guy, the MMA guy.
Boo. Yeah, who is that?
That must be Joe's wife. You know, the thing about Joe that I can respect is he's so famous.
Dang, Bobby
starting out hot.
Yo, guys, are y'all synced up? Sync up with us if y'all are watching this. If not, we don't want to spoil anything, but this is Bobby Green, so anything can happen at any single moment.
We're 4 minutes and 45 seconds into round number 1. So if you guys want to be on where we are, that's exactly where we are. Bobby Green with that step in too.
I love it. Hands like they could be in his pockets. If he had pockets, they would be in his pockets. Look at that head movement. Dang, come on, Bobby.
He's exciting, man. Bobby Green wouldn't put his hands up if you paid him.
Right?
He's something else, man.
He could probably fetch a pretty penny at bare knuckle, if he ever went over. But I think he's got the skills. Yeah. I think he's got the skills for the UFC top 15.
I feel like Bobby could do pro boxing. I mean, his head movement, his spatial awareness, and
super solid.
Obviously he'd have to dedicate himself fully to that. But he's good, man. His boxing is real slick. Jalen working these inside leg kicks.
Citizen something.
Citizens Macabre's Poppy says Bobby.
Yeah, let's go.
You gotta love Bobby
man,
Green.
he's
Even though I picked Jalen Turner and I still think he's gonna win, you can't not love Bobby Green.
Yeah, I'm a big
Mean
fan.
Bobby Green. I'm officially changing his nickname to Mean Bobby Green.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right. Maybe your hands up would be a good idea, but who knows? You've made it this far. Just do your thing.
Who am I to tell you to keep your hands up?
Yeah.
He does have excellent head movement, though.
Yeah. And, he stands his ground. Jalen's making these entries, and you'd think that he would just back away, but he's not really. And as of these last 2 combinations, he's paying for it. But, I mean, he was standing his ground and making Jalen pay when he was sliding in. Beautiful head movement.
I feel like Jalen's got a good future in his because he's only 28 now. When he gets to be about 30, 31, those weight cuts are going to be tough for him. And he's absolutely built for welterweight. I'd love to see him filled out at 170.
Yeah, he could be a problem there.
He's a good striker,
As long as he's able to continue, he's one of those dudes that would be perfect for 165 if they had the division.
Yeah, exactly.
If they would just get with the program and do 65 and 75.
And especially with everybody trying to go to champ now, it's like there's only so many divisions, and you now with everybody trying to become a double champ, it's getting held up. I did see this. Wow!
Shoot,
Jalen Turner. Goodness gracious. Good Lord. Is this
all right? He's out. Dude, he's out, bro.
Who's the ref that let that go on? Good Lord.
Oh, man. I don't know who that. I didn't pay attention to who the
Danger
ref
says was worried about Jalen's weight cut for this fight. Yeah, Danger. He, I think I was talking about it earlier, that picture of him with Khamzat Chimaev. He literally looks like he could be bigger than Khamzat. And Khamzat, we know, has had trouble making 170. Dude, Bobby Green may be really hurt there.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. When you see him like that.
Dude, this is I hate to see that, man. Yeah. I hate to see that because that fight should have been stopped 5 strikes before it was.
Right. That's the type of stuff that, like, boxing, in my opinion, is so much more dangerous because, look, he's already out right there. He just crumbled right there. You could stop it
1, 2, 3, 4.
This is just
5, 6, 7.
And they're so close to the back of the head.
Oh,
those are just brutal. If he dies, he dies.
I mean, I get it. And Rocky IV is one of my favorite movies, but you'd hate to see somebody really get seriously injured or, God forbid, get killed in the ring.
Well, I mean, Apollo Creed, it happened to him.
Yeah. If it can happen to Apollo, it can happen to anybody. Dude, man, that was so many unanswered shots. Oh, wow. They got to get Bobby to the hospital right away.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, man, look at him stumbling there.
Who won? It sounded like he just said, who won?
He's so clearly concussed. Look at his face.
Man.
Yeah, they got to get Bobby out of there and get him to a hospital. That was brutal.
Which fight was that? Was a girl fight.
What'd you guys think about that stoppage? Drop a comment and let us know. Clearly about 7 shots too many there, in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's no time for a ref to be letting fighters show their warrior spirit. Like whoever it was that said that.
Mario Yamasaki,
the heart guy.
He's back. He's back reffing.
Not PFL, the UFC. Not the UFC.
PFL now.
Yeah, him and Dana White probably get in the ring and fight him.
Yeah. Lenny said Bobby clearly told the ref, let me go out on my shield. Yeah, but it's like.
Yeah, but it's not up to the fighter.
The ref.
All the fighters would do that, except for
There's a very few that Conor will get himself
after
out
big
of there
money.
Quick.
Conor McGregor, yeah.
Conor will call it a day real quick if things start to go south. Man, Bobby still looks out of it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a headache like hell tomorrow.
Oh, you ain't kidding.
That's a goatee on that guy back there.
Mario Yamasaki School of Refereeing says Danger Mouse, and Steven ahead of me again. So yeah, we're in sync, Danger. We're thinking the same things, bro. Man.
Yeah, that was a big that sets Jalen up for a good fight.
Yeah. Took the short notice and
11 first round finishes.
Oh, 14 wins. That's he's a first round finish kind of fella.
That's awesome.
And 100% finish rate. So every single fight that he's won, he's won by finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's exciting.
What about him with like a Fazeev?
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Give him Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah. I think Patty would want to stay as far away from Jalen as possible.
Yeah.
DC is just getting thick, man.
He'd still be a real problem.
Yeah, I swear, I still think, and somebody thought I was crazy for saying it the other day. I can't remember who I was talking to, but I was like, if you don't think DC, it was right when Yuri and Alex were fighting. I was like, if DC could have weighed 205 yesterday, he could get in there and beat both of these guys.
Yeah.
And I still believe that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like to believe that too.
I mean, John Jones was, you know, a whole different discussion and a whole different problem. But you're talking about the best ever. But I swear, I think DC, even in his 40s, could still compete.
Yeah. Speaking of that era, man, it would be really cool to see Gustafsson be entered into the world of either the current light heavyweight division or the current heavyweight division. I know his best days are behind him, but man, that synergy he had with John Jones was great. I think that he matches up well against some of the guys at heavyweight. I think he could actually win as long as he doesn't get knocked out early. And even at light heavyweight, I think that if you inserted him back in there, oh my God, how gray is Barnhill?
He's grayer than I am.
Way grayer.
That's saying a lot.
If my hair was that, I'm not big into dyeing my hair. I would dye my hair if I'm on national television.
Yeah, I feel like he looks very youthful and he's still great, you know, and he's not that old. I think he's actually, I think he's 34, 35. So
he's the silver fox of MMA.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So you guys, drop your final predictions in the chat here. I'm going to say Barnhill Dariush by decision. What are you thinking, Nick?
I think Sarukian's going to go in there and get a decision. I think Sarukian's going to go in there. He's going to steal rounds early, trying to grapple and
win a decision.
Yeah, let Barnhill use his most dangerous weapons, which is really crisp striking and really high level jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
but the caveat is if Barnhill's able to grapple up and scramble and tire out Arman, I think Barnhill stands a better chance the longer the fight goes.
Yeah,
I think the first couple rounds are likely going to go to Arman. I think later in the fight the rounds are going to go to Barnhill, and I do think it's probably going to go 25 minutes.
Yeah, I'm thinking decision too. I think obviously Arman is better as far as the wrestling and the takedowns are concerned, but I think Barnhill is better, you know, as far as on the canvas grappling. I think his jiu-jitsu is slicker. I think his wrestle ups and his scrambles are better. Yeah. And I think he can make it interesting there. And I also think, you know, Barnhill's no slouch on the feet. Think about what he did to Matus Gamrot. Yeah. I mean, Barnhill's got some good striking.
He's got a pop on his shot.
He got knocked out by Danger's got Dariush as well. Yeah, I think Dariush decision is going to be my final prediction. Yeah. Should be this main card has kind of moved along, hasn't it?
Yeah. Feels good. Too many commercials, but
yeah.
Yeah, I think Dariush is good, but and his scrambles are good. But these high-level wrestlers that are in MMA and they're young and they've been in MMA for so long, they're so good at anti-jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
they're so good at top pressure that if you decide you want to try to play down there, they'll let you burn the clock for a minute, 90 seconds, and not get anything. And now you've just got beat up a little bit, maybe elbowed a couple of times, punched in the head and body a couple of times, and you're just a little bit more tired when you finally get back up to your feet off a scramble. I think Barnhill, if he's gonna win this fight, he's got to scramble heavy early as soon as the takedowns are initiated, and if he's not able to get up from there, he's got to threaten with strikes from the bottom to create that distance.
Yeah,
I think Barnhill's best chances actually take place on the feet.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that. I mean, Barnhill, he certainly does have, and a lot of people saw him get knocked out by Charles and just automatically kind of discount him as, you know, not being a great striker. But the reality of the matter is, one, Barnhill has some great finishes on his record, but two,
Bobby needed that helmet.
Yeah, he was winning against Charles in a lot of those exchanges before he got knocked out, which can happen to anybody.
Yeah. What a combo.
Yeah. Yeah, Stuart Scott.
Yeah, he loved the sport.
He did. Yeah, unfortunately, gone too soon.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is an anniversary or something, but I did see some stuff on Elias Theodoro today on Instagram.
I forgot he died too.
Yeah, maybe one of them passed away, and this is like the
what did Elias pass away from? He had cancer.
Yeah, I think he had some. What
a shame!
And he didn't really tell anybody about it.
Talk about a guy that had it all going for him. Good looking guy, nice,
two guys,
well spoken.
Him and Rumble Johnson.
Yeah,
gone too soon and would have been just so entertaining for as long as they could have possibly been still fighting.
I would wish Rumble Johnson was still around.
Rumble right now because 205 or heavyweight
or against Jake Paul. I feel like Rumble Johnson would take the bait on the Jake Paul
100%.
fight.
Jake wouldn't take the bait.
He would put an end to that
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah, no, Rumble was a monster.
Rum-
And
what
I think Rumble would get in there with Francis. I think
Yeah.
he'd get in there with all these big dudes. I think he'd entertain the bare knuckle world.
Yeah, Rumble was gone way too soon. Really great figure. What, did he die from cancer as well?
From Dublin, Georgia, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Two
Shout out
hours-
to Dublin, Georgia. 2 hours from where we're from.
2 hours up the road. Yeah.
And pretty much everybody from Dublin, Georgia is like built and tough like Rumble Johnson.
Yeah.
That's a like
Good
middle of the
football.
country, good football players,
call
good
it country
basketball
strong.
players. Yeah.
Corn-fed, country strong.
So we got 13 in the chat. Danger dropped his prediction.
14 now.
Everybody else, let us know. Do we still have Mana Boy in the chat? Or did he
There might be a smoke break.
Yeah. Look at Benny, man. But yeah, Rumble Johnson.
Oh, damn.
He was a true gem of the sport.
They interviewed both of them on like social media after the weigh-in.
Yeah.
They got the deal and they're like, "So, what's your take on it?" He's like, "I'm really excited. It's an honor to fight him. He's a great up-and-coming fighter. Can't wait for the fight." And then he goes to Arman Saruki and he just says, "I'm gonna knock him out," and that's it.
Yeah, Arman's young, man, and Arman has that match against Islam Makhachev that was close, and being 27 years old, 27, 28, something like that, you know, he can certainly enter himself into the title discussion. The problem is there's just the top of 155 is so log jammed, and you got Gaethje, you got, you know, all of these you got Poirier, and who knows what's going to happen with him. But I think with a finish of Benny, in Charles, obviously, you know, will likely get the next fight against Islam. But if you can finish Dariush, you definitely enter your name into the title discussion. So, especially when you've got a close fight against Makhachev on your record. Smoke break was exactly what I was just thinking. I have Nick stealing my thoughts now. LOL.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Danger, we're in sync, man. We're in sync.
And the YouTube algorithm, you know, people always joke about the computers knowing too much, but man, he sent you to the right place when they let our channel pop up on your feed.
Yeah. It's so funny. I was talking to Dad the other day about
like somebody
like
fell on a
bagpipes or something, like an Irish jig is about to break out.
Yeah. That's what Connor should do next. Come out in a skirt.
Yeah. And Sinead O'Connor died, didn't she? Talking about people that have passed on.
Yeah.
Connor's walkout song. And that was cool when they actually had her do it live when he fought Chad Mendez.
It was cool.
I think that I don't think they've done that since then.
No.
Yeah,
you know, Trapped was hoping like, man, I heard Israel Adesanya walked out to Headstrong. Can we please play it live so people remember us?
Which that's a good song, by the way.
Great song.
Yeah.
I love that Izzy just goes against the grain. He's like, I'm gonna walk out to a different song every time. It's not gonna be predictable. It's not gonna be, you know, Young Thug or, you know, any of these random rappers that put out mumble rap. It's like there's going to be some thought that goes into it.
Izzy goes by feeling. Like Izzy's kind of that, like, he rides the vibe kind of guy.
Yeah, and he said he was flying to wherever it was he was fighting on that night, and then, I think he was coming to America, and he was like, I heard that song in like the airport or something, and I was like, that's the one. That's the one for this fight.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
Cool. Awesome.
Arman Sarukian, 8 wins by knockout, 5 by submission, 4th largest strike differential among active lightweights, and the 7th most takedowns among active lightweights, 28. So very well-rounded fighter. I didn't realize he had that many knockouts. Yeah, he's going to be, especially as he gets older and kind of builds out his frame, and he's going to be a problem at 155.
No. Agreed.
So let's see what Benny walks out to. That was a interesting walk.
Might be a religious song. He's gotten really religious.
Yeah, he's very religious. Yeah, has been for a long time. Crowd seems to be, you know, Arman got a little bit of a pop there. Austin's a great town to do a fight card. And I feel like it's not quite big enough to do like a pay-per-view, but this was like the perfect size fight card for Austin.
100%.
As far as like who they put on the card.
And I mean, it is the grappling capital of the world right now.
No doubt.
There's no doubt
No
about.
doubt.
I mean, when you've got Gordon Ryan and you've got all of his foes living in training within a 10-mile radius of each other, it becomes the hub. And they're at the Texas Stadium. They're like the Moody Center or
Moody Center, yeah.
That's where the Arctic Monkeys played.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Austin has really the grappling scene in Austin has just really become insane,
and it certainly trickles down over here to Houston. I mean, if there's a co-capital city for grappling, Houston's it. Yeah, Dallas is doing their thing too, but Texas runs grappling. Obviously, there's great stuff going on in Southern California, but as far as pure grappling, Austin's the king, and Houston is a close second.
Yeah, and you have and it's true that like. Even for MMA, Houston's such a great town as well.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like if we had because Main Street is very unique in the sense that they have pro boxers at the highest level in the same gym as they have professional MMA fighters and UFC guys, PFL guys, and whatnot. You almost never see that where you have a gym that's got the highest level pro boxing that you can find and the highest level MMA that you can find under one roof.
Yeah. I was showing Avi kind of the wall of fame that we have up there. And, the current list of people that are in there every day, Regis Prograis, Oshaki Foster, Derek Lewis, Kevin Holland, Terrence McKinney, the who's who really of current combat sports. But then you just take a look at some of the other pictures, especially on the boxing side. You got Daniel Jacobs, you've got Danny Garcia, you've got Keith Thurman, Lennox Lewis, Roger Mayweather. Yeah, they've all done camps at Main Street in that building, grinding. It's a real rough and tumble sweat gym. And it's bred a lot of champions. It's created a lot of big names that have gone on to do great things. And I mean, there's not bigger names in the boxing world than some of the ones I just named. And
speaking of Regis, he's got that big fight coming up. I know you did some rounds with him, preparing some boxing rounds for his last fight. Have you sparred with him at all since the new camp?
No. And for this one, he loves LA. He loves Southern California, and he just loves the atmosphere and everything. And he splits time. And so this camp, he's focused a lot of his time out there, mostly because he really enjoys the group of sparring partners he has out there and the looks he's able to get in preparation for Devin Haney. So he's been out in LA for a lot of this camp, but his last one, not the last one against Zarilla, but Zepeda, man, he was looking for any high-level southpaws that he could possibly find. That's why I was lucky enough to get in there with him and give him lots of good rounds. He ended up winning by KO, so I guess we were showing him the right looks that he needed to see. So Regis, WBC world champ, he's in arguably one of the most exciting fights that you could possibly make in boxing right now with Devin Haney and him. And he's really playing ball with the promotional side. He's been pushing it out there. He's exposing Devin Haney, saying, you haven't knocked anybody out. You haven't fought anybody tough. Damn sure haven't finished anybody tough. I've been coming up the hard way. And even though boxing likes to, do their home cooking and bring the guys up that they want to bring up, I messed up all their plans, took their belt, and now they're trying to get me beat. That ain't going to happen. You're not the one that's going to do it for sure. And I just really love the energy he's bringing. This is going to be a special fight. I think it's 9 or I guess it's next weekend.
December 9th. Soon,
So it's 7 days away. If you are a boxing fan, check it out, y'all. If you're on the channel and you like MMA, if you need a fight that's really going to get you into boxing, watch Regis Prograis fight Devin Haney. It's going to be one for the ages. Great fight. Regis is a good personal friend of mine, sparring partner, training partner in the gym every day, grinding it out. And I think he's going to do some great things.
He's one of the good guys.
Oh, 100%.
And in a sport where you almost have to start at like 8, 9, 10 years old. Regis, I think, started boxing in his 20s.
A little bit early. About 17, he got really serious with it. Yeah.
And he's became a world champion, which is almost unheard of in boxing. We got a little bit of stuff to catch up on the chat. In a very traditional English way, I have to discuss the weather. It's snowing here.
Oh my
Shout
God.
out, Danger. It's when was the last time that it snowed in Houston?
Don't know. We've been here 5 years, and I don't think it's been since
I wasn't living
here.
at this house at the time. It was when we had the apartment. It was
Well, Well, that was kind of just like
That's been 3 years ago. Yeah.
it was more of an icing. It
Yeah.
wasn't really much of a snow.
But Danger, you'll get a kick out of this. In Houston, if there's that much snow on the ground, it's like the apocalypse. The stores shut down, the city shuts down,
School is canceled.
training is canceled, school is canceled, and everybody just like turns their heater on and stays in their house like it's some sort of end of the world sort of situation. So
Yeah.
it's I'm
like-
sure that's you would get a kick out of it if you came here.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like how everybody was acting outside of Texas when the quarantine started.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, shut down everything. We're like, nah, we'll keep it open. But then we get like a quarter of an inch of snow, and everybody's like, all right, shut
Yeah,
it
yeah,
down.
they-
Stay at your house.
COVID, like
Yeah, forget all that,
absolutely,
yeah.
we're not closing down for that. A little bit of snow, like
Yeah.
get real here. We're closing everything down.
How it should be.
So if you guys, I don't know where y'all are at in the live, but Bruce Buffer just finished introducing Armin Sarukian, and now he's making his way over to Benny right now. So
Yeah.
I'll let you know as soon as the round starts. So if you guys want to sync up, we don't
Yeah.
want to
We don't want to
spoil
the main
anything.
event.
We don't want y'all to be too far ahead. So let us know where you are.
6-2 as an underdog.
Yeah,
He likes
yeah.
being
Benny's
in
a
that
dog,
underdog
man.
spot.
Benny's a dog.
He looks to me like Ben Stiller.
He does kind of Zoolander.
He looks like Ben Stiller in a MMA movie. Also, one of the more underrated actors of all time, especially when he goes on and does a comedy thing. He
Ben
can
Stiller,
really
yeah.
do it all.
Yeah.
But when you throw him in a comedy, he's gonna be lights out for you.
Yeah, he's funny. Like
He's so funny.
what was that? One of my favorite movies. Excuse me. One of my favorite movies of all time is Heavyweights.
Heavyweights, yeah.
When he was Tony Perkis, the summer camp guy. Yeah.
Slide. Great movie.
That too funny.
I don't know if that one, if the British humor and American humor is too different for that one to translate for you, Danger Mouse. But if you haven't seen Heavyweights, don't stop
Yeah.
what you're doing because we want you in the live stream. But you need to watch that movie ASAP.
Danger says the same here. An inch and a half. If an inch of snow, then the country grinds to a halt. Yeah.
Yeah. Tony
Let's see here.
Hinchcliffe, avid fight fan.
So we're just getting ready now. So if you want to sync up with us, round one just started.
They just tapped gloves
4:57.
and we're in.
Benny's starting out strong.
I got Armin winning, but I hope Benny wins.
It's so funny to me because Benny just doesn't look like a fighter, but he's so skilled.
He's so skilled.
I mean, but before the Charles knockout, he was literally like arguably the most clear-cut number one contender in the sport.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
He was fresh blood. He hadn't fought Islam. He was on like an 8 or 9 fight win streak. I don't think the UFC wanted that fight just for marketability purposes. And Charles kind of gave them what they wanted.
Yeah.
But truth be told, I would almost prefer to see Benny versus Islam than Charles. And it's one of those styles make matchups things. And I don't think that, man, as much as I love Du Bronx, I just don't see him. Wow. Good Lord.
At least they didn't have the last ref in there for that one.
Armin Sarukian. How about that? Wow. Yeah, just as I'm saying that, that's tough for Benny, man. 2 knockouts in a row. Man, we were both off. We both picked decision.
I thought Armin was going to win, but not like that.
Man, he's come on strong. He won by knockout in his last fight, too. That was off oh, wow. Benny got really hurt there. That was off a knee.
Armin Sarukian. Remember the name.
Yeah.
He's coming in hot. Man.
How about that? Wow.
Great finish for the young prospect, man. The sky's the limit.
Looks
for this
like
kid.
J. Cole in his corner.
Yeah, there you go. Little pop culture. Barnhill, man, that looked bad. As soon as he grabbed that Thai plum,
Yeah,
and threw that
he's
knee.
strong.
Yeah, here we
with that.
go.
So
that reinforced knee.
boom.
Oh, that looked really
So
bad.
there's the knee, and then a hook right. That was beautiful.
Come on, damn, he threw everything into that one. He was biting down on his mouthpiece right there.
Yeah,
Look at that.
Lenny. Wow, thought Benny would win. Lenny, I thought the same thing. Yeah, that was very, very, very impressive. Armin Sarukian just entered his name into the title contention at 155.
It was that punch right there. So that one punch, that long rear hand threw a hook, and it was a long hook, but it was a misdirection. So
it set up the plum.
Benny had his guard up, so he was blindsided by it. He didn't see it. and I think it must have hit behind his ear or almost like on his neck. It looked like.
Look at Bisping's reaction.
Wow.
Nobody reacts like Rogan though. Rogan literally looks like he's about to come out of his skin when there's a knockout.
Fall out of his
so
chair,
funny.
Yeah. Wow. Doesn't even look like he messed his hair up.
Danger says, nice job, Armin. Beautiful right hook. Yeah, it was that that hook after the knee that really set up the finish there. That was the one that put Benny out. That was the beginning of the end.
Wow.
Yeah, Armin. I mean, what do you do with Armin Sarukian now? The guy's got to be he's got to be in title contention.
Yeah, maybe run him back with Gamrot.
Yeah,
they might have to fight it out.
Gamrot's going to fly to the Apex and demand a meeting with Dana White if he doesn't get a title shot. He was pissed about that. But
one thing's for sure, he's definitely not fighting Bobby Green.
No, yeah, dude, Bobby needs to take some time off after that. That was
Bobby
brutal.
and Barnhill need to go hang out at the hospital. For a little while. That must be his dad.
Looks just like it's like Armin. If you want to know what you're going to look like in 30 years,
that's the mirror from the future.
Wow. But you gotta put him in title contention. The problem is Islam doesn't fight all that much, and he's talking about 170, and you got Charles Oliveira. So
hey, if I'm Armin and if I'm the UFC, I'm not rushing it.
No, he's 27.
You're 27. Islam's there. He's got a gang of guys that are right there, and they're going to get their shot before him. You know, if Michael Chandler wins a fight, if any of these guys, they win a fight, they're in there.
Yeah.
So,
and truthfully, you probably can't beat Islam.
Of course not.
You know, and so let Islam either retire or work his way up, and then that's your future champion for sure. Wow. Really, really impressive.
Has arrived. What a guy.
Yeah. He's almost like the Taporia of 155 to be that good and that young.
Yeah, to seize a moment like that, main event.
E. Coleman, very interesting live stream, guys. Thank you for joining. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Throw a little something in there.
Yeah. Yeah, Armin says he wants to go for more knockouts. Now if you want to make your name for yourself at 155 and work your way into title discussions, you gotta win by finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, Benil's definitely the most respectful. Yeah, Benil's a good guy. He's one of the good guys. Unfortunately, and Avi just texted it to me as well, I feel like
he's done.
He's Tony 2.0 now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I still think he can compete against higher competition than Ferguson, but I don't know for how much longer.
He's Tony 2.0. He's got an unfortunate 4 fights coming up.
Yeah. If he's going to have the same trajectory as Tony, I don't want to be in his. I don't want to be him. Yeah. That would be awful. Sarukian looks like the sky's the limit, though. I think he needs to take his time, though. I think he needs to develop these skills and get a little bit more 5-round time. I don't know how many fights he had that were 5 rounds outside of the UFC, but it's different when you get to the UFC.
Yeah.
Get a few more main event slots on these fight nights, or get put on these feature bouts and stuff, and just be ready.
Yeah,
the time is coming. In the next 3 years, he can get to the belt, but he doesn't have to rush to it right now.
Yeah, because 3 years from now, Gaethje, Poirier, Conor, all of those, Chandler, those guys are going to be moved, and probably, honestly, Islam too.
Yeah.
I don't think Islam, if he is competing 3 years from now, he won't be competing at 155.
170 for sure.
So the sky is definitely the limit for him. Oh, Danger said, not sure Armin's ranking right now, but Benoit Saint Denis would be a fun fight. I forgot about that guy, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That was the guy that just finished Frivola.
Yeah, bad.
Dude, he is a problem, dude. The future of 155 is looking bright. That would actually be a banger of a fight. And I think he's a pretty young fella too, like 27, 28.
Yep.
They're going to meet at some point, whether it's now or in the future.
Yeah, yeah. And Dana's the kind of guy where he throws the best in with the best, and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
A win and one win and one loss does not define your UFC career like it does in boxing. And, Sarukian, oftentimes you see, like, look at Leon Edwards. He had lost to Kamaru Usman earlier in his career, goes on a 9-fight tear, and then comes back and beats him for the belt.
Yeah, and who would have ever thought that Leon would win would get the better of a trilogy with Usman after that first loss.
Right,
You just
right.
never know.
Or, you know, Gamrot wins the belt, and then 3 or 4 years from now,
Yeah.
Sarukian fights him for it. Like, the rematches don't matter.
Danger says BSD is the best French fighter at the moment right now. Sorry, Cyril. I totally agree with that. Yeah.
Isn't there like some girl that's pretty good?
Yeah, but what's her Manon or something like that? Fio, yeah.
She's pretty good, but she's not.
Yeah, she's not quite up to that level yet.
Yeah, no. Oh yeah.
Well, thank you guys for joining the live.
Yeah.
We'll have to do our recap video on Sunday tomorrow, as we always do. So, guys, be on the lookout for a few videos dropping probably tomorrow night or Monday morning.
Yep.
And let us know. We're going to try to do these. Did you enjoy this? This was more informal. You know, Nick and I try to be a little bit more buttoned up when we're doing our clips, but we want to do more live streaming. It's a little bit more laid back. We can kind of look at the chat, answer, hang out for the fights. This is kind of the evolution, or what we are envisioning, the evolution of where we're going to go with this and what types of content we're going to add to what we already do. Obviously, we'll always do the staple, 6 to 10 minute clips that we do, but we're looking to do other types of content as well. So if you guys enjoyed, let us know, drop us a thumbs up or a comment in the chat.
Yeah.
And we're gonna.
This is raw, real, authentic, and that's what everybody wants. Not that you don't get that on the clips, but they're a little bit more refined. Tiny bit of editing here and there to button everything up, so we aren't dragging on too long. But when we go live, man, we're just here to hang out. We want you guys to hang out with us, engage with us. It's so fun to talk with y'all, even though we don't get to see your face in person. This is the next best thing. So hanging out virtually is the way everybody's going these days, and if we can sit here and watch some fights, let's do that every time. We're always here. We love watching the fights. We're going to do it anyways. We might as well do it with you guys. Man, I've had a lot of fun.
This has been fun. Yeah. So we got Nidzad Mahatovic. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. How's it looking? I can't watch tonight. Dude, it was a great night of fights. The last 2 fights were just insane finishes.
Yeah, don't spoil anything. We won't spoil anything for you. Go back and watch this card. It's one of those ones you should watch. As far as fight nights go, it's one of the ones that sticks out to me for one of the best fight nights of this year. I would definitely go back and watch it. And even if you only have a couple minutes to watch the last few fights or the last 3 or 4, I would definitely go do that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you all so much. And I think that's about going to wrap it up. I think we're going to go and watch Bare Knuckle now. We'll probably let the camera take a little rest. It's been overheating on us. And thank every one of you for joining. I know a few of you hung out the whole time. We really appreciate it. We're going to do more of these. Share the lives next time we go live, if you don't mind. Let's get some more people in the chat. And as always, we hope you guys have a wonderful night, and we will talk to you later.
Yep, they're ushering people out of the arena. We're going to usher ourselves out of the studio. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see you tomorrow for the recaps and all of the other stuff that we're going to break down.
Cheers, guys.
Peace.